I'm not very good with Discord. I'm on a like a browser version of it. I don't get the messages sometimes. Do you stick in the side chat or? Um,
Howdy.
Yeah, what's good?
What's going on, guys? Sithis here, back at it with another live stream here with my brother from another mother. Taxation is theft and Caleb's revenge. I actually don't know who you are.
Yeah, I know who you are, though. So it's fine. I already know you're fucking retarded. Don't worry about it.
I'm a retard.
Yes, you are a retard because you're an ANCAP.
How am I?
Retard by default. You're just a neo-feudalist that doesn't understand his own ideology.
I'm a neo-feudalist.
Wait a minute. I know that voice. Are you THC Salt?
No.
Is that Thought Bat or
You're
Thought
not.
Rat?
No. We just come from the similar part of the country. THC Salt actually fucking hates me. Threatened to fight me at least twice. Hilarious.
Yeah, well, he
Did you
hates
win?
everyone. He really, really hates ANCAPs.
I think us
devoted
ANCAPs did nothing wrong.
Yeah, see, I'm an
THC
actual anarchist, so I have issues with the whole ANCAP thing, but
anybody who wants
closer than the average moron, so I get that.
anybody who wants to, in my view, anybody who wants to abolish the state, even if they have views I find detestable, anybody who wants to abolish the state is an anarchist. I think that's the only requisite to being an anarchist is you want the abolition of the state. You're not for the state.
It depends what you mean by the abolition of the state.
Well, when I say the state, I mean a monopoly on force. I mean one organization wielding overwhelming power over everybody else in society, such that it can unilaterally do things that would be illegal for anyone else to do. For example, they can steal and call it taxes. They can enslave you and call it conscription. They can, command you what plants you're allowed to grow at your house and so on. Things that if anybody else behaved in the same fashion, it would clearly not be acceptable. It would be prohibited socially, legally, and so on. But if they do it because of their monopoly on force, it's allowed.
Yeah.
Right? A ruling body. So if you're not for that, then you're an anarchist.
Mm-hmm. We just don't think that people in the state
disagree with any of that.
Well, we just don't believe that anyone in the state has any more of a right to do anything than any other person. So, for instance, with the state, they come in and they force you to pay taxes regardless of whether you want to or don't want to. And because of that, they have this special status in society where they're basically allowed to rob you. They're allowed to take your stuff. Whereas we consider that to be to be unjust because
State equals mafia.
It's essentially a mafia, and or a legitimized mafia.
If I see a government firefighter put out a fire, I don't object to what the firefighter is doing, only how it's funded and so on. Mm-hmm. Likewise, if I see a government police officer arrest a murderer, a genuine murderer, I don't object to that either because it would be okay for me to do the same thing. I simply object to how they're funding it by force. They're making people pay for it who don't necessarily agree.
Yeah, and they have other ways in which they steal from people that isn't simply just taxation. They also take things from people through eminent domain and civil asset forfeiture and things like that. In fact, there was this one guy who didn't mow his lawn for a few months, and I guess he missed the notice, and the city literally took his house right from under him.
Jesus, that's insane. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was on John. It was on John Stossel. Just look up like John Stossel lawnmower or something like that, And
We
yeah.
need another killdozer every now and then. That guy should have done a killdozer. That would have been a prime candidate for a killdozer. Whoever
didn't-
made that decision to take this guy's house because he didn't mow his lawn should get fucking dozered. That was prime fuck around and find out territory, and I'm assuming that guy just totally blew it. But no, I can't begrudge him. I didn't exactly shoot the feds when they raided my house. It would have been justified
I like
too,
that he
but
did it without violating people's rights. He didn't, well, any innocent person's rights, I would say. He didn't go around killing anyone. He merely destroyed the concrete people who were screwing him over, as well as the state. Their
oh, you mean
buildings.
killdozer? You mean killdozer guy?
Yeah.
And to my understanding, he was fucking with their building. He wasn't even like murdering people. He was like fucking with their buildings.
he merely
of
destroyed their
specific
building.
people.
Hello.
Yeah, see,
Hello.
I want to
Um,
tell you something. I'm from Austria and I hate Ukraine and I hate Israel.
I also
Okay.
hate
Austria?
Israel.
We believe in
And
Austrian
Ukraine
economics.
and
What do you think
Russia.
about that?
I hate every country.
No, I hate a very what is common between Netanyahu and Zelensky? Tell me, guys, what is the common between that?
They're
What do they
both
share in
they both
common?
run a government, I guess.
Are
They
you
are
gonna get into?
both-
Hey, they're getting. Look, the Sithis is doing a live stream here, so this is not going to be a. He's.
Yeah,
this is not
well,
gonna be
this has nothing to do with
anti-Semitism.
whether or not taxation is theft. That's kind of the room or ANCAP.
Well, now wait a minute. We have an unusual privilege here. Of Caleb is a alternative anarchist. Usually, it's just stater tots we get in here.
Oh, he's
Wait,
an anarchist
let me
too?
see. What
Caleb
is
is-
the
Caleb is a left anarchist.
wait?
Okay.
Why?
I'm post left,
Hang on.
but whatever.
What do Netanyahu, Zelensky, and Jeffrey Epstein share in common?
Oh, Jesus
Oy
Christ.
vey,
I get
Mayor,
it. You
okay.
don't
Yeah,
like
read the room,
Jews.
bro.
I understand, but shut the fuck up.
We don't care
Thank
about
you.
that. We don't care.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck
You know,
about you or your Jew hatred. I
Yeah.
dislike Jews as well. I dislike most of the
Oh,
Abrahamic
why did I
death
say
culture in the Middle East, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Shut
We're
the
talking
fuck
about
up.
Ben
ANCAP stuff.
Shapiro.
Unless you want to talk about
Ben
ANCAP
Shapiro.
stuff, then you should probably go somewhere else.
I don't want my money to go to Ukraine.
Okay, that's
I
oh.
don't care
Then
what
go
you want.
there.
Shut
Dun-
the
go-
fuck
All right,
up,
he
cunt.
muted him. He muted him.
I made him shut up.
All right, thanks. Thank you for that.
Well, wait a minute, Caleb. What did I ever? I'm of Jewish descent. What did I ever
I'm
do to
not
you?
bro. I was talking to the other dude. My bad.
Yeah, but
You're probably talking
you
about
said
the
you don't like
religion.
Jews. You said you
Right.
don't like Jews either, but I'm a Jew. What did I do?
No, you're not. No, Jew isn't a race. Are you a practicing Jewish person?
I don't practice the religion, no, but I am ethnically
Then you're not a
Jewish.
Jew.
Well,
I
there
am
is
a Jew. I test
No,
there's
you're
a
not.
positive.
difference
Jew isn't a race.
between
If I think-
ethnic Jewish and religious
There
Jew,
is no
right?
such thing as an ethnic Jew. It's a
If I
Nazi
think-
propaganda point from the 1940s.
No,
That's
I-
not true. It's not real.
if
No,
I can
don't
I
care what
can
you
take
have to say on the matter.
I can take
It's
a
my
blood
final
test.
word on the matter. Unless you are a practicing
can-
Jew, you're not a Jew. Jew isn't a race. You can't convert.
I can
someone from
literally
race
take
to
a
born
blood-
as
This
a
guys,
race.
this has nothing to do
shut
with
up.
You understand-
ANCAP. Guys, this has nothing.
we have our
guys.
own-
No,
Guys,
that is my
Sith
only
is killed.
response to that. You do not get to continue after that. I don't care about anything you've got
What?
to say. That is the be-all, end-all of it. So you can take that or
We
leave
have
it,
our
but I
own-
don't give a fuck. There is no such thing
We
as a
have
Jewish
our
race.
own diseases. We have our own diseases.
No,
I can-
no, you don't.
Yes, we
The
do.
only exception to
Take
this
that
rule
to
is
me.
Ashkenazi Jew, and that's just a race by propaganda. Again, the Jewish race idea is Nazi propaganda.
all right,
from the
I'm gonna go to a
1940s
different
that
room
was
because you
continued
guys
on
are
by
just talking about
Zionists. I
Jewish
don't
stuff, and I'm
accept
not
it, and
really
I'm not
open
going
to that.
discuss
So
this
I'll see you
further.
guys
Deal with
later.
it.
Alright, here we go. The one we've all been waiting for. Alright, put your masks on when you get in the bank. Then crowd control. You're on
Why is my car not moving?
races. Shoot it up. Shoot near them if you have to. Just
Are you kidding me right now? Hello.
KingSithis, do you think all drugs should still be legal?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's my body, my choice.
Okay, your body, your choice. Okay, your body, you kill yourself. That's basically what you're doing with drugs.
You should be allowed to do things that harm your body.
Why?
Because it belongs to you.
Because it belongs to you.
Mhm.
So it's basically like me saying, say I had a kid, correct? And I say, okay, that's my kid, and I just harm them.
It's not your kid though. It doesn't. That kid's body doesn't belong to you. Just because you're taking care of a kid doesn't mean that kid belongs to you.
It technically is until the kid is 18.
You're not the owner of your child. All you're doing is taking care of that child until they're able to take care of themselves.
By law, until a kid's 18, they're your property.
I'm not referencing state law. I'm an anarchist. Remember?
Oh, you're an anarchist. Oh.
Mm-hmm. So when I talk about, I'm telling you what I think the law should be, not simply what it is now. I'm not really averse on what the law is right now, and under the United States.
Natural law equals free will.
Wait, do you believe in God?
The child is in your care.
Not really, no.
Wait, what do you mean not really though?
As in, I don't think he exists.
But how is that not really? That's just straight up no.
Okay. I mean, you're not wrong.
Wait, what?
You're not wrong.
Okay, so
Is that it?
huh?
Is that it, or you have anything else?
Okay, wait. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, besides your body and your choice, why do you think drugs should be legal?
Well, I mean, I have other arguments too. Like, I think that having it illegal causes more problems than it helps. I think there's a lot of negative consequences that come with making drugs illegal that tend to outweigh any good that may arise, or perceived good that you think might come from it.
Like what?
Well, I believe that making drugs illegal increases crime because it basically, when you make drugs illegal, you increase the risk factor of selling drugs, which then increases the cost of selling drugs, and it incentivizes people who are willing to break the law and violate people's rights to start to sell drugs and be the ones to push in the industry. And
Wait,
when
do you
you
believe
have
in the Constitution?
like, do I agree with it? Not
Do
really.
you believe in it?
Not really.
But you just said people's rights.
You don't need to believe in the Constitution to believe in rights. Rights are
Okay, wait. Question. What are rights?
rights are actions that ought not be impeded. So, for instance, if I say I have a right to freedom of speech, that means that I ought not be impeded from saying what I want. Or say if I have a right to a gun, that means that I ought not be impeded from using that gun or buying a gun.
What?
Were you saying that to me, or?
No.
Okay.
So, okay, question.
What's up?
Do you think people with a mental disorder should have a gun?
I guess it depends on how mentally disabled they are, you know.
What
I'm not
about gender dysphoria? What about gender dysphoria?
I think generally people with gender dysphoria, I don't think they should be prohibited from owning a gun.
Kick me, dude. Why'd you ban me and kick me?
Who, me?
No.
False.
Oh.
Huh?
Shh. Bad boy. Shh.
No, you're meanie. You're fucking meanie, dude.
Hey, I'm
a
live streaming
meanie.
on the internet, so let's
Fucking
not
idiot,
say anything too crazy.
No, I didn't.
I know.
We're
I'm
on
just
video,
saying.
by the way. Oh,
I'm
I'm
just
Play
letting
the
you know.
clip. Stream it right now.
Guys,
Hold on, watch.
guys, can we not? Can we?
Shut the fuck up. I'm talking to him.
No, this is my
Play the
room.
clip.
If you don't like it, get out.
No, okay, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Let me get on my knees real quick. Come on.
No, I don't want you to suck my dick. I just want to have a normal conversation. I don't want to hear you guys argument.
All right. Anyway, yo, play the clip. Play the clip, dude. Play the clip of me calling you the N-word.
I don't have to show you anything.
Yeah, you don't have it.
We're having a conversation, so.
Wait, was it
Don't
his
have it,
room?
dude.
Was it his room?
No, it never happened.
Was it his? No, I'm asking you. Was it his room
His room of what?
that he kicked you out of?
Potentially.
Okay, so then
Okay,
what
well-
gives you? Then what? Then why should you care? It's his room. It belongs to him. If he wants to kick you out, then he should be allowed to, right?
I think he's inferior because he eats fucking mid candy. He eats dots. He eats fucking peppermint patties.
It's irrelevant
He
to
eats,
the argument.
It's not irrelevant. He eats the worst candy known to man. He eats suckers. I mean, if you eat suckers, I
I'm
mean,
not
you're
sure
kinda
how that's
weird,
relevant
okay?
to anything. But
It's
okay.
pretty relevant. He eats fucking Werther caramels. That's really weird.
Okay.
So
Well, then don't eat it. If you don't like it, don't eat it.
he eats Tic Tacs, and he's like, "This is good candy." Like he
What's
calls
wrong with
Tic
Tic
Tacs
Tacs?
candy. Like it's not a candy. I'll tell you that much. He's fucking weird.
It totally is a candy. How is it not a candy?
It's
It's
supposed to be a breath mint.
That's a candy. A mint is a candy.
Breath mint, mint? No. That's where you're wrong. You would consider like a lifesaver breath mint candy?
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
No.
What would
that's-
make you think
that's-
they're not
that's a
candy?
breath mint. That's
A
make
mint
your breath
is a
smell good.
candy.
No,
Yes.
you're wrong. You're living in a psyop. I'm trying to break you free from it.
Okay, bro. I'm not sure how you're
just
gonna
don't
break me out of the psyop by convincing me that a mint is not candy.
A mint isn't candy. It's really not a candy. Is mouthwash a fucking beverage? I mean, what are you trying to say here?
Not really. You don't really drink it.
You should. You should try it.
That's nasty. That's kind of nasty.
All right. What about bleach? What about bleach?
No, bleach is not a drink. No.
Oh, it's not a drink. Well, I fucking bet.
I mean, you could drink it, but it's not a drink like you normally, what I would normally
if you
call
say
it.
mints or candy, I'm gonna say bleach is a drink, right? So that's where we're
Yeah,
at,
but you don't.
right?
You eat mints, and it's
I
made with
don't-
the same
I
stuff
don't
that
eat mints.
can'ts.
No, I suck on them. I suck on
Oh,
them.
Okay, and you suck on candy.
anything else?
No,
Why
that's
does this
just 'cause you
matter?
suck-
I didn't come here to debate
can-
about fucking candy.
you
What
can
the
suck on
definition of
popsicles.
candy
That's
is?
not candy. Is a popsicle a candy?
I don't know,
Oh,
bro.
no.
I don't know.
You
bro.
suck
It's
on
a-
those.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Do you, well, Foster, can you answer my question? Do you suck on anything else? What?
You guys sound
I have
underage.
titties. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
You guys sound
Honestly,
underage.
Got me in a pickle.
Okay.
Got me in a
KingSithis.
fucking corner.
Anyways,
Pickles?
do you think we should legalize
Pickles,
drugs,
yeah,
guns,
yeah,
or no?
yeah. Huh?
Do you think we should legalize drugs, guns, and prostitution?
Okay, prostitution now.
Yeah, that's degenerate. Certain types of drugs, degenerate, don't do that. Probably, honestly, no drug should be legal, quite frankly.
Why?
And
It's my body.
Yeah, it's degenerate. Okay, your body? Okay, well, kill yourself. I mean, how about that?
What if I want to?
It's your body, dude. You should just do it. You're allowed to, right?
Well, I should be allowed to, right?
Well, if you do drugs, and you're killing yourself, so technically you're subscribing to what I'm saying.
I do subscribe to what you're saying. I do believe you should be allowed to kill
So you
yourself
kill
if you want to.
yourself.
Well, I don't want to kill myself.
Oh.
I'm just saying we should be allowed to.
So you don't do drugs?
Not really, no. I mean, I
Not
take prescription
really.
medication, but that's
Like
prescribed.
what? Like what? Like what? What prescriptions?
I don't remember what it's called. I just take what the
Oh, that's
doctor
really
tells
good.
me.
Really working well.
It's for my
Prescriptions
anxiety.
are working good.
It's prescribed. What
Oh,
do you
you
want me to
take
do?
fucking
The
benzos,
doctor
dude?
tell me to do it.
You take fucking benzos?
No, I don't think so.
You take fucking what is it called?
It's not any of the major like name brand.
Ativan, nigga? You take Ativan?
I don't think so. I don't know
you
the
take
name of it.
anything.
I couldn't tell you even if you said
Yeah,
even
you're
if you
gonna be
said the right
smoking
one.
crack in no time. Nah, that's okay. You're gonna smoke
Yeah.
crack soon, so I mean, you do that stuff, so.
I've
It's
never
all good.
smoked crack, but okay.
Hey man, if I ever see you at my like local McDonald's, I'll get you like a Big Mac or something. I'll feel bad. I got you.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I'm a good guy. I'll get you like double cheese too.
All right, cool.
And that's a big deal because that's like 98 cents more. So, you know,
Mhm.
I don't think you understand this.
Anyways, I kicked him out of the room.
Why? He was a nice person. Nice guy.
He was annoying. I didn't come here to talk about that. I came here to debate about guns, drugs, and prostitution.
He wanted to buy you a Big Mac with extra cheese. So why not? A very nice person.
Do I need to kick you out? Because I guess you don't want to talk either about it either.
I mean, he wanted to buy you a Big Mac with extra cheese.
All right. I guess I will.
What question?
All right. What's up?
Okay, why do you think prostitution should be legal?
It's because it's your body.
Okay, so question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so wait. Why should women be able to like demoralize themselves?
Because people, the way people view you should not dictate what you should or should not be allowed to do. So if somebody does something that might be compromising, I don't believe that then should be prohibited from doing that in the hopes of saving them from some sort of grief of how other people view them, based on how other people view them. That thing.
I mean, more crime with prostitution.
Hmm?
I said more crime with prostitution.
I don't see it as a moral crime.
You don't see it. You don't see it as crime.
No, I don't. You're not really doing anything wrong.
Rape.
That's forcing someone. Like if you have sex with a prostitute, that's not rape.
Well then, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
All right. Good luck.
False alarm. Didn't take a piss. Okay, so wait. What was the last thing you said?
I think you should be allowed to make your own choices despite how people might view it.
So I should be able to make my own choices, correct?
As long as you're an adult, yeah.
Oh, it's not I'm a doll. Okay, makes a whole bunch more sense. Yeah. It makes so much sense. So wait, what if I want to make my own choices as a kid?
Oh, you're a kid, so you can't.
Oh, I can't make my own choices
Because you're a kid.
because I'm a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So you think every kid should not have an opinion, or
They can have an
make their
opinion,
choices?
but they aren't able to fully understand the ramifications of their actions. Their brain isn't fully developed, so therefore
That
they need
doesn't-
somebody to
That doesn't
look
really
after them.
matter. I would say that's quite irrelevant. That just because your brain is not fully developed doesn't mean you can't be smart.
I didn't say that you're not
Would you-
I said that you're not
Would
able
you
to.
agree with me or something?
Hmm?
Can you agree with me on this? Listen, if someone's brain is not developed, can they be smart?
Yes,
Okay, so why should a smart person not be able to make their own choices?
because most children's brains aren't fully developed, which means that for the most part, most of them are not able to make their own choices on their own.
Oh, since my brain is not fully developed, I can't make my own choices.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You don't have the the full capability of understanding the ramifications of the actions that you do.
So that means there's somebody, like, yeah. So back to what I was saying with the thing, the adult thinks it's So basically, if you're a kid and you can't make your own choices, a parent, that's their property. Am I wrong?
Yes. You are wrong.
So that's not their property.
No. Children are the self-owners. The only thing is that only thing a parent does is watch over the child. The only thing that a parent is allowed to do is watch over the child and protect them until they're able to make their own decisions.
Why can't a self-owner make their own choices?
Well, because at the time of childhood, they're not able to make their own choices because their brain isn't doesn't have the capacity to fully understand the ramifications of their actions the same way that an adult can.
So they're a self-owner, but the self-owner can't make their own choices? That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because their brain isn't fully developed.
The brain doesn't fully develop? Did you mean the brain is not fully developed?
Yes, that's what I said. As a child, I said your brain, as a child, your brain is not fully developed. Thus not giving you the ability to make your own decisions the same way as an adult can.
The same as an adult can?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so question. So, do you think can all adults make a good choice?
Not saying that they're all make good choices. I said that adults are able to understand the ramifications of their actions to a much higher degree than children are, thus putting them in a different category as children.
What if an adult cannot understand that? Then what?
Then they are basically a child mentally.
So mentally they're a child, but they can still make their own choices.
Not necessarily. They would need a guardian just like a child.
So
a person that is like mentally disabled would need a guardian just like a child, even if they're an adult, and even if they're like say 30-something years old, because they may be like developed physically, but their mind is still as a mind of a child. So they still need the looking over of someone who's older than them.
KingSithis, give me 5 seconds. I have to go to the VC below. It's enough. I'll be back in 5 seconds because I'm gonna get kicked from the VC for no reason. But...
All right. Brittany?
There's a state in the USA.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which one because I'm not from there. But there's a state in the USA where they kind of like did legalize specific drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And it just became like a nightmare. Like the streets were filled with people that were doing drugs.
Oregon.
And were in tourism and business.
Yeah, Oregon and yeah, I know what you're talking about. So basically, the issue with that area was they didn't actually legalize drugs. What they did was they decriminalized the use of drugs, which is when you decriminalize only the use of drugs while also making it illegal to create and sell drugs, you keep the black market there while incentivizing people to do drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because you've now made it illegal to basically do drugs, but now you've basically made it illegal to sell drugs. So, but then who's going to sell drugs to these people who want to do drugs? Well, obviously somebody in the black market's going to have to do it. So then that created increased the black market activity. Also, when you legalize drugs in one state and where in every other state it's illegal, that then incentivizes tons of people who do drugs in those states to basically go to that state to do drugs. But again, that wouldn't really be an issue if drugs were fully legalized, because the supply would be able to meet the demand and the price would be able to go down, thus allowing people to buy and use drugs in the open, not overdose as much, and yeah, it would be much better off.
Honest, drugs that are very severe, I think they should be regulated, and I think they should be taken under a prescription. For example, I wouldn't want someone thinking that it should be okay for someone to do like fentanyl, even if they're just seeking like the positive benefits of it. Like it's clear as day, like the negative effects outweigh like positives. I don't think that
yeah.
that part of it should be legal. And if it was legal, like I mean, it is to some sense like where you can take it under like if you were at the doctor, but I feel like only in that sense.
I think that you should be allowed to make your own choices as to what drugs you put or not put into your body. I don't think you should have to ask a doctor whether or not you should be allowed to put a drug into your body. If it's your body, if I want to put fentanyl in it and get high off of fentanyl, and I'm fully making my own decision on my own volition, nobody's forcing
Not
me.
if you're mentally
I should be.
The thing is,
I should be allowed to
the
make
thing
that
is,
choice.
fentanyl does make you feel good, but it's not like it's really not good for you. I mean, like of course the same thing with everything, like if you're doing weed or anything, but the negatives outweigh the positives. Like it could kill
Doesn't
you,
matter.
like from how addictive it is.
I don't disagree that fentanyl is bad for you. I would agree that it's very bad for you, and I would even agree that you probably shouldn't do it. And I would also probably even agree that the negatives probably outweigh the positives. But that shouldn't stop me. That shouldn't stop another person from being allowed to use that drug if they want to. I think that, like for instance, I think that for gambling, the negatives tend to outweigh the positives. You're wasting a whole bunch of money for seemingly nothing, right? But do I think people should not be allowed to do that? I think, yeah, it's your money, it's your time,
If you are suffering under depression and you decide to take pills or you decide to like resort to other means where you cut yourself, the government puts you in a home and they're like, okay, we have to protect you. I think the same thing kind of like applies to fentanyl as well. Because like it's the protection of that person's life. Even if like whatever you're doing is giving you some sort of release, if it's going to put some sort of harm in your way that it could possibly kill you and ruin your life, then it should be protected. You know what I mean? Like,
well, let me ask you a question. Should we stop people from going and getting, should we ban McDonald's in the hope that we stop people from being obese and eating too much fast food? Should we take people who are overweight and force them into fat camps to stop them from ruining their lives and dying from a heart attack? Should we take coffee drinkers, people who drink a little too much caffeine every single day? Should we force them?
The thing is, the thing is, those things are good in moderation, and I think we always do preach that like you should have these things, but just in moderation. But it's like long-term benefits, like I mean long-term effects is what causes these problems to arise. Like if you go to McDonald's like every single day for a long period of time, it causes negative effects to you. But fentanyl, like I've never seen anybody be able to live a successful life taking fentanyl every day, or heroin. Like those are just drugs that just they change the way your brain is wired. So it's like your brain constantly needs that drug for you to live. And if you don't have it, you're going to die. And that's something you have to live with every day.
You can't do fentanyl every day. You'll easily overdose. Fentanyl is like one of the hardest drugs to like not overdose on.
Anyways, what I was going to say is in response to what you said, which is essentially, well, it's really addictive and you're not able to make your own choices because your addiction is essentially influencing your choices. But the issue is I don't necessarily agree with that, because I do think that even though people who smoke cigarettes are extremely addicted... Excuse me, sorry.
That's the thing, though. Fentanyl is literally specifically made to be addictive. Like
I sneezed, so I wasn't able to finish my argument. So what I was going to say was what I was going to say is that cigarettes are extremely addictive and they get people addicted, but I would argue that every cigarette that a smoker chooses to light is still a choice. And, you know, even though that choice might be influenced by addiction, they're still making that choice. They're still choosing to do that. And I do think that people should be allowed to choose to harm themselves or do things that might be risky or or might not
I
be
agree.
beneficial to themselves, like it's your body. And the same way that if you're the owner of your car, should the government not allow you to take a baseball bat and swing it and smash your windshield because you're destroying, the value of that property? Well, it's just like, well, no, that thing belongs to me, and if I want to destroy it, I should have that right.
I agree. And also another fact that people forget to play in, fentanyl obviously is very bad, but used medicinally is very, very good. That's another thing with a lot of drugs. People think, oh, like
That's
I don't get the
different,
meaning
though.
of that's still being used. Yes, of course it's different. I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I'm saying like it's not inherently an evil thing. It depends what you use it on. Too much of anything, like you said, is bad for you. If you drink too much water, it will kill you.
Water intoxication.
Yep,
Also, yeah.
literally.
So there's also the idea of. Oh, go ahead, Brittany. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, like, I was saying that from the beginning. Like, if you're using, like, for example, methamphetamines, and like it's regulated by a doctor, and you're taking like a dosage that doesn't make you like it doesn't make you like crave it to a specific extent, then like that in itself could be good. Like, you could live a positive life from it. But like when you see people taking fentanyl, it's like the most outrageous amounts, and if they do it, it's not regulated. It's just like a consistent pattern of like negative. So like maybe you could approach it from a sense that like if it is regulated to some extent where you're not taking too much at a specific time, then you could live like a good life with it. But I've never seen like people who just like regularly take fentanyl say like, oh my goodness, like, yeah, I love taking fentanyl, it helps me relax. And
you're right. Sorry, I just want to put my autistic inlay in this. It is, like I said before, like a lot of fentanyl, which is what you're saying, like an overdose amount is 25% of the size of a US quarter. That's an overdose of fentanyl. It is so you need to be very careful when you take it. Like if you do take it, it's like no one's having it large.
But here's
You
the
just
issue.
Die.
When you have drugs illegal or made illegal, you're basically trusting that the person whom you're buying it from, who are drug dealers, right, and have all the incentive to not necessarily tell you the truth, you're basically putting your trust in the hands of people who sell drugs for a living. Whereas if drugs were illegal and sold in, say, some sort of like store with clear labels and things like that, you would be able to make your own choice as to how much fentanyl you want, and you would be
also
able.
Is a very, very good point. When
you would be more
legalize-
likely. You would be more likely to make a better choice because you would like. So, for instance, when you go to say a vape store, they have 5% nicotine, 3% nicotine, 1% nicotine, or something like that, right? Now, I don't know if that's the exact number, but they show you the amount of nicotine that's in the vape before you vape it. And so you can make your own choice whether one is too much or one is too little. But if you're going to say like a drug dealer, well, you're just going to take what they can give you, right?
And most of the time
that's
it's a scam or it's laced.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing, and that's a good point.
Be laced,
when you legalize a drug, you create a black market for it. They could easily do that with cigarettes. Say they legalized cigarettes, but people still wanted to smoke them. A lot of people could easily poison the cigarettes they sell to people. They might not even be cigarettes. It'd be very similar to what happens with weed. Like, I live in a country where weed's illegalized, and I have smoked and bought weed, and a lot of times it can be a scam.
Yeah, and if you're buying from like a weed dealer, they're not giving you many options. Like, it's not like a store where you could choose, oh, I like this flavor, I like this strand, I like this strand.
It's
maybe
like you want the $10 joint or the $20 joint.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of just take what the guy can give you. That's assuming that.
I only got lucky
the
because
thing
it was
is,
a close friend of mine.
You cannot die from like a fatal overdose of like taking you can't die from too much weed. You can die from fentanyl.
Yes, you can die from fentanyl, but you could die from too much coffee. You could die from drinking alcohol. You could die from smoking too much cigarettes. But we don't ban those things, or we should not ban those things too. Right?
Yeah, and that's another thing too. You can die from weed. A lot of people, like, especially like I said, in countries where it's illegal, it can be spiced, it can be laced, and even then, like,
Yo,
if you
that's because
smoke,
something
That's
is
not
mixed in
weed
it.
though. That's
Well, it's not the weed itself that's
mixed with
getting
it.
you high. It's the thing
no,
that they put into
spice
it.
is
You could
synthetic
technically
weed.
die with marijuana alone, but you would have to
No,
do extreme amounts that your body wouldn't be able to consume that.
spice is synthetic marijuana, and
Spice
that's the
isn't, yeah,
most.
spice, that's a nickname
But
for it, but
that's
it's
not
not
what most
actually
people
anything to do with
mean when they
marijuana.
say. That's not what most people mean when they say marijuana. You know, they don't think
Just because it's a
synthetic.
nickname for it doesn't mean it's actually marijuana.
I mean, it's yeah, it's like you said, it's synthetic. It's not real. But
And that
putting
shit
it,
can't
put
kill
it.
people.
Oh, that yeah, absolutely. But that's not like real weed. But anyways, putting that aside, I do think that drugs that are potentially fatal should be legal. For instance, I do think people should be allowed to take steroids, right? If you want it, like, that could be potentially fatal if you're not being careful, right? I'm pretty sure that could give you like a heart
Is
attack.
it not legal?
If I'm not mistaken, certain steroids can be illegal.
Especially if you're in a sport, you're not like it's completely banned for sports, so they do drug test people for that stuff.
Well, that's different. That's a private entity.
Yeah, that is different, but
Mhm.
you know, it's another point. But also, like you said, alcohol. To be honest, if alcohol wasn't so engraved in our culture, say like alcohol was a thing we only discovered like 60 years ago, it would have been illegalized.
Yeah.
I mean, we already did. We had prohibition. The only reason why alcohol's even allowed is, like I said, it's just engraved in our culture. We've had it for so fucking long.
Yeah, we've had it
It's
for
like it's no
hundreds
different.
of thousands of years. I don't know if that's true, but
And here's another one as well. So I personally, I vape and I smoke sometimes. And I've had debates with people where people are like, "Oh, it should be illegalized. You shouldn't be allowed to do that." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "Oh, because it's unhealthy for you." And I'm like, "Do you know what? Do you eat sugar?" Like, if we're going to talk about how, you know, like vapes or like drugs are harmful for you, let's talk about sugar. Sugar can cause, you know, tooth decay, heart disease, obesity. Sugar can cause way, way more things than I would say most drugs can. Most drugs can just kill you. Eating too much sugar can give you a plethora of things: diabetes, heart disease, clogged
It can make you
arteries,
fat.
like tooth decay. Like I said, like sugar honestly is more dangerous than most drugs, I would say, because it can give you so many different things.
100%. You
Like,
always gotta.
with most
It's always
drugs, it
like
just like overdose, you die, or it's like the needle was infected. It's like it's not to do with the drug. If you take too much of the drug, you just die. But like sugar is like an actual poison.
now, like
Oh,
a
so
lot of
death-
people die from. Sorry, go ahead.
Sugar is worth. No, I was gonna say sugar is worse than death. Apparently.
But I mean, no, it's
because
better
it
than
causes death.
it's.
Obesity, heart disease, diabetes can very much kill you.
Well, yeah, that is certainly true. Like sugar definitely has a lot of
And heart
if you
attacks,
eat
not
too
many people
much
survive
of it,
heart
yeah,
attacks.
it could definitely have many negative effects.
Clogged arteries also cause heart attacks, which, you know, are mostly fatal from what I've seen. Most people don't come back from that. And also caffeine as well. That's another drug we could talk about. Like, caffeine is completely normalized. You can just drink caffeine whenever you want. You can drink it as a
Yeah,
child.
I could go to the store and get a 200 milligram can of caffeine.
If you
Like-
drink too much caffeine, that is another thing too. I know many friends as kids who like drank way too much and they had to go to the hospital. Like,
I drink a lot of caffeine.
can fuck you up.
I drink a lot of caffeine.
Oh no, yeah, so do I. But it's like when people say, "Oh, don't do drugs," and I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" Because most people function every day by drugs, like caffeine.
Caffeine
or, like,
is
you know,
like
drugs to use medicinally.
I couldn't
consider
imagine if they
caffeine
made
a
caffeine
drug.
illegal. Oh my god, I
But
couldn't
it is
imagine.
a drug.
It is a drug.
But
It's a
caffeine is
stimulant.
drug. Literally.
It-
And
yeah.
what I think the statement "don't do drugs," I think it should mean actually don't misuse drugs. I think that would be a better thing to say, because don't do drugs as a whole. It's like, I'm sorry, if I'm in a hospital and I'm like in severe pain, I'm probably going to take morphine.
Yeah, if you need to. You're not gonna say no.
It's like, dude, what do you mean don't do drugs? If I've had my leg cut off, I want to not feel that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but that's different from like just taking it for like pleasure.
I know it's different, but like the statement "don't do drugs," that's a vague statement as a whole. I say don't say that. I say don't misuse them, because I think drugs are actually very helpful for our societies. It's one of the biggest breakthroughs in medicinal things. A lot of properties of weed can cure a lot of things, including Parkinson's. From what I've seen, like I said, I think drugs as a whole, actually, you can say like, yeah, it's had a very big negative impact, but it's also had a pretty positive impact in terms of, you know, medicine.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine not being able to drink caffeine in the morning and be awake.
Or like I said before, not having morphine when you're in constant pain in the hospital.
Yeah, or something like that.
Painkillers or ibuprofen when you have a migraine. Like, you couldn't imagine that.
Hell no.
No one in this society is completely drug-free as a whole. Now, like I said, there are bad ones and there are good ones. Like, obviously, like heroin, you can't exactly justify using that shit. Or, like, you know, like psychedelics, but they're a category of their own. But if you look at, like, fentanyl, weed, and even amphetamines, it's like, a lot of times they can be used for very good things.
I don't
You
think
can
fentanyl
misuse
can be-
anything.
Well, fentanyl was a prescription medication.
I feel like fentanyl is like the worst drug to get addicted on, because you
It
just
is,
need
but-
you have to keep taking more and more for you to start feeling that feeling again that you're never going to get, that you got from the first time.
That's every drug. That's nicotine too.
No, but
call
fentanyl is
that,
like your body makes you crave to do it more and more, so you can try to get that same high that you got the first time, but you can't get it, so you keep doing it. You keep doing more and more, and you're like in a pattern of addiction.
Smoking does the same thing. I've smoked for 4 years. I know exactly
a
what
lot
you're
of
talking
addictions
about. You
does
get
that.
same
They call
craving.
that what did they call that when you gain a tolerance? There we go. That's what they call it. It can happen with people who smoke marijuana too. Like if you smoke marijuana every single day, like you need to kind of smoke more weed to get the same high. Like some people, like they'll smoke 2 hits and they'll get
caffeine
high.
as well. I drank so much caffeine as a kid that I practically have an intolerance to it. People are like, oh, you're so tired during caffeine. I'm like, it won't work.
Yeah, I gotta
It won't
drink a
wake
lot
me
of
up. I
caffeine.
I drank so much caffeine as a kid, it doesn't wake me up anymore. That's why, you know, for a good example, you know, everyone had this in, you know, like elementary school. You'd have those kids that weren't allowed sugar, and then since they barely ever have it, the minute they get a taste of it, they have a sugar rush. That's because they never had it. The reason why we don't get sugar rushes is because we eat it in everything. It's a horrible thing to eat.
We eat it for
Sugar,
breakfast,
I would say,
sugar,
is a
breakfast.
drug.
You know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, they put it in especially in the US. They put sugar in your bread. I'm like, no offense, but like some of your bread just tastes like
you're not
cake.
wrong. It literally has. They have to put sugar in it. If not, nobody's gonna eat. People won't eat
Yeah,
it.
it's like I joke around with people like that. They're like, "Oh, British food is bad." I'm like, "Yeah, but at least I don't have to eat cake every time I want to have a sandwich." So
Do British people not put sugar in their coffee, in their bread?
no,
Not
why
really.
would
no.
we?
Do you
Don't
put
need to,
honey?
don't-
Any sweeteners?
Well, no, if it's a sweet bread like
I mean,
don't know,
France,
brioche,
like,
then
puts
yeah.
chocolate.
But like,
Yeah.
but like regular bread, no. France and Italy don't do that either.
Yeah, it's not a normal thing to put like tons of sugar in your bread. That's like
It's more preservatives. A lot
No,
of
but like
American.
the
Well, it's
base
mostly
amount,
the
like
cheap food.
a lot of
them-
recipes for bread have sugar in it.
That's
no,
like
what
we
some,
put a
like,
lot.
not
We
so
put a
much,
lot
but, like-
in America. We put more sugar than your average, like country does. We put more sugar,
Mm.
like a lot more.
I wouldn't. I don't know why, because like I use bread for savory things. But if I was gonna make like a brioche, then yeah, maybe I'd use sugar. But brioche is mostly from the milk used in it. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't add sugar to bread if I made it, and I don't think we do that here.
Wait, what kind of bread are y'all talking about? Like just generic, like
Just
sandwich
regular
bread?
white
bread?
Just regular.
Yeah,
sandwich
Italian bread.
Wow. I've never experienced that. I think it's because I don't eat white bread, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's probably
I
but
whole
like
wheat bread.
it's the same. It's the same with baguettes in France. It's just flour, salt, and water. Like that's it.
This is why we need to legalize all drugs.
And yeast.
Yeah, I think the legalization of all drugs probably would be a good idea because it's like, you know, if it's there, people might not want to try and crave it more. But it's also you kind of stop the illegal markets. Like if cocaine was legalized, like that would completely and utterly destroy cartels.
Yeah, because then they'd have no one to you know.
And it's why they're so like increasingly overpricing it. Like cocaine is just like it's literally like plants, battery acid, and whatever the fuck. It's like it should not be worth millions.
I mean, it's because it's not legal, so it is.
Yeah,
Anything that has a high demand, it's gonna up the price.
because they can just charge whatever.
And if you make it illegal, then you've also increased the risk factor, which also increases the price even more.
I had a friend that did like I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was like I think it was heroin. But they were talking about how they were afraid to like go to specific people because like they started like mixing the drugs together so you don't know what you're actually doing. And it can actually make you end up like being really addicted or something. Like something of that area.
Drug dealers don't really care about their customers. They care about making money. You know?
Yeah.
That's
Like
gonna
if they're
happen.
running, oh, they mix it with something else. The one thing I like about cannabis, no, like we have a cannabis store in Canada, and you can like choose what, like you can go inside the store. I don't know if it's like legal in your states, but you can go in the store and like specifically choose what kind of like weed you want to take, and sometimes you can like look at the like what each kind of weed is good for. I think you have that too, but
Yeah, in places where you can buy it legally, yeah.
Yep.
They call them dispensaries. That's what I'm talking about. So what do you think about prostitution?
what do I think about prostitution?
Yeah, do you think it should be legal?
I feel like I don't really call it prostitution. Like, do you mean like sex work?
Oh yeah, like have sex for money.
Yeah, I think I would just like prefer to say like sex work, cause like
Okay, so
when you say,
should
maybe
we
it's just 'cause I
legalize
don't like-
sex work?
Yeah,
All right, based.
I mean
W.
like I feel like sex work is legal, is it not?
And not in the U.S. It's illegal, very illegal. You can go to jail for up to a year, if not more.
So not like OnlyFans or like meeting with somebody.
No,
from
OnlyFans.
online.
Okay, so OnlyFans is okay. I'm talking about like having sex for money, like having sex. Like, yeah.
That is not legal.
No, it's illegal. If you do that, you can go to jail. Or you will go to jail, or if you get caught, at least.
That's insane.
You didn't know that?
Because I know, like, in my country, I don't think it's specifically legal. Like, I'm not sure. Because I remember taking a class where we had a conversation with, like, a sex worker. And she was talking about, like, all of the things that she had to do for for work and what was allowed specifically, like, because she wasn't legally able to work in sex work, but she was still able to do it. Like, she still did it.
Yeah, I mean, people still do it, you know, but it's technically like if you get caught by the police, you go to jail. Like, sometimes the police will do like hidden stings on people. Well, they'll act like a guy who's trying to buy it or have sex, or a woman will act like a woman to try to lure men in. And then when they show up, they arrest them. You know, it's a classic, the classic sting.
I like the idea of, like, I like sex work, but I don't like prostitution because I know the negatives about it. Like, I don't like how things could easily, like, become, like, when I say corruptible, like, especially, like, having a pimp or, like, and he's controlling you, and then you're in this pattern of, like, where you have to keep doing sex work in order for you to, like, make enough money. And sometimes if you don't, you have to keep going back on the streets and living in a hotel. Like, a lot of people that do sex work are almost often, like, homeless, or, like, they are in need of money.
I think that just because a person is in a bad situation does not exclude them from being able to make their own decisions. So I think that fundamentally, if somebody's in a bad situation and because of that they choose to have sex for money, I think they should still be allowed to make that choice, despite the circumstance. Because then, if you don't allow them to make that situation, they're still going to be in a bad situation. They just now have one less option because of the moral micromanagement.
Yeah, I don't think that they shouldn't be allowed. I just think that, like, if a lot of these people probably most likely would not want to have to do it if it wasn't because they were homeless. Like, I know so many people that choose sex work.
I wouldn't want to work at my job if I didn't have to make money in order to pay my bills. Like, you could say that about a lot of jobs, right?
I don't know. I can't really.
I mean, would you work as much as you work? Would you work as much as you do now if you had it?
When it comes to sex work, you have to be extra careful about, like, who you're partnering up with. Like, you have to make sure, like, if this person isn't aggressive and could be, like, potentially, like, holding you, like, hostage or some instance, or, like, what if this person comes and they have sexual STDs and this is something you have to push through just to make that money?
Okay. So what?
Like, these are things that would not be comparable to, like, a normal, like, day job.
I mean, as long as you're not being forced, I can't say I'm ethically opposed to it.
I just think there are, like, certain risks. That's why I'm saying, like, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying that, like,
well, okay, how about this? Like, there are risks
if they weren't
to
in that
boxers,
position,
right?
they wouldn't do it.
There's I mean, you could say that about boxers. Boxers, would every single boxer get into a ring and get their face beaten the shit out of their face every so often if they weren't getting paid? You think, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think that there are people who would massage other people's bodies every single day, or at least as often as they need to in order to live, if they, you know, didn't have to work every single day in order to do, you know, sometimes you have to do the compromising things in order to make a living, right? But so long as you're making that choice through your own religion, I think it's okay.
The thing is, boxing isn't like a regular job that you can just pick up one day. It's like a job somebody chooses to do. Like, it's not something that, oh, I'm forced to do this and I have to do this. When you're most likely doing sex work, you're forced to do this because you probably explore any other outcomes. Like, I'm sure there are people that choose to do sex work and they make lots of money. But when you're homeless and you're trying to find a job and you can't find a house, most of the time they are being forced to do this job. Nobody's forcing somebody to go into boxing. They know the risks when it comes to that.
If there is a person forcing a woman to have sex for money, well, then I think that should be illegal. But if a woman
The
chooses,
system is forcing a woman to
I'm not sure how a system can
have
force
sex.
you to have sex for money.
Because homeless people, it's like really hard to not be homeless. Like I don't even know how to explain it.
I mean,
but
you
like,
could say that about any job, though. Like you could say, "Oh, homelessness forces me to work the job that I do now because if I don't work, I'm going to be homeless." Well, it's just like, yeah, no,
yeah,
well,
but
it's
these,
no, that's
these
not
people
a person
already
that's
live
doing
on
that
the
to you.
streets and they need food to survive. They need
Oh, yeah,
places
but
to
if
go.
you,
Like,
but if she wants to have,
your
let's
point,
say,
but
but
I
if she
feel
wants
like
to have sex, then let her have
you're-
sex.
But yeah, that's definitely a choice. But like, you're also not just recognizing. I feel like you're not recognizing my point where I said that a lot of people don't want to do that job because of that reason. And you're saying, oh, well, this is similar to that job. That doesn't like negate the fact that people don't want to be in this role as well. Like they wouldn't do this if it wasn't their last choice.
Most toilet cleaners probably don't want to clean toilets for a living if it's not for the fact that they have to make money in order to survive, right? Most people who clean sewage, like they probably wouldn't do it. People who work at landfills, people who work at coal mines, right? They probably would choose to do something else if it wasn't for the money that they're getting from that job. And I think I look at it the same way as prostitution. Like I think people should be allowed to do that despite the fact that they wouldn't have wanted to do it had that money not been there. Not
the
all
idea
jobs.
is that these people don't want to do these jobs. Like this isn't a choice.
But no
this
one's
is something
forcing
that is
them.
forced. When you have nothing else to rely on, the last thing that you could use is your body.
But who's forcing you? No person's forcing you.
Oh, I mean, you're technically kind of are. Like you're forcing yourself to be independent. You're forcing yourself to live on your own. To get off your.
How could you force yourself?
There are people. There's literally one example I could give you is there's this guy, and he's been doing sex work like for years, and he's trying to get out of it.
Okay.
And he lives hotel by hotel, and for him to be able to afford to stay in the hotel for the night so that he can have a place to stay, he has to go out and have sex with other men so that he could feel better and he could have money so that he could pay for the night.
That's his choice. He's making that choice.
Not his that's kind of not his choice, though.
It is his choice. No person is forcing him to do that. Like he doesn't have to do it. He just chooses.
If he doesn't do that, he
it's
goes
just the
homeless
least bad of his options.
What if he doesn't do that? He has no food to eat for the rest of the week, or he doesn't have a house, have a room for him to sleep in at the end of the day.
If I don't work my job, if I don't work my forklift job, I won't be able to pay my bills, and I will be on the floor, on the street too. But I'm not gonna sit here and say someone's forcing me to work because nobody's forcing me to work. That's a job too. Having sex for a job.
The thing
having
is,
sex for money is a job. That is a job.
I wouldn't consider it like that because you have a job. You already have an established job where you don't have to use these parts of your body for you to feel better. But these people they're forced to do it. Like that's
they're not
the difference.
forced to do it. Nobody's forcing them to do it.
Yes, they do. If you decide to not show up to work one day, you would still have food. You would still be able to pay your bills.
But eventually, I won't. Eventually, I won't.
I know there are people. I genuinely know there are people who enjoy their job and stuff like that. But for people that live in maybe not in the USA, maybe in different countries as well, where they are forced to live like this so that they can have food in their stomachs, it's not a choice. It's not like they can miss one day and still have food to eat for the rest of the week or money to pay for their bills. This isn't a choice.
So wait a minute. He's not going to die if he doesn't. So you're meaning to tell me having sex with men for money is the only thing that he could do? There's no other job. He has no other option. If he doesn't have sex for money, he's going to die.
There are definitely other jobs that he could pursue, but like I said...
Okay, so nobody's forcing him to do it. He's choosing to do it because it's less bad than his other options.
No, you're choosing not to understand me, and you're choosing to misconstrue what I'm saying. Because if you were homeless and you were put in a position where you needed food and you needed money to pay off your bills for the day, you would do anything that you can if you don't have the job already to do that. It's already forcing him to stay in a system where he has to keep like doing this so that he can be able to
But
pay
no
his bills
person
and
is
have
forcing
food
him.
to eat.
No person is forcing him to do it.
Of course, no person is forcing him, but at the end of the day, it's kind of forced because he goes without food in his stomach.
Yeah, but you could say that about any job. If I don't work, I won't get food in my stomach.
You could not show up to work one day and you could still have food inside your house. What I'm saying in this specific situation
eventually
is when
I'll
you
run out of
rely
food.
on something that's supposed to feed you every day, of course you're gonna not be able to like sustain yourself properly. You could show up to work and miss one day and you would still be fine. That's what I'm saying. But people in these positions, they are forced to work every day so that
he
they can
doesn't
have
have
this.
to work. I'm sure he could figure out a way to not. He could just have sex with 2 guys in one day, and then he'll have double the money, and then he can take a day off.
Hello.
I find like
Hello.
it's so ironic though, because it's like you have empathy for sex work, but then you also don't have empathy for people that are put in these positions where they're forced to
I
do
have
sex
empathy.
work.
I have empathy for people who do sex work. I just don't think he's being forced. I think he's just choosing it to do it.
You're choosing. No, I feel like that's
We're
kind
talking
of like,
about sex work. And why I think we should legalize sex work, and she believes sorry, I don't mean to assume your gender. She believes that we should make it illegal.
Sex
That's
work?
not that's not what I
mean?
said. I said that there are people sex work where you do sex for money.
Oh,
Like yeah.
I mean, wait. Who thinks this should be illegal? Who thinks it shouldn't?
I think it should be fully legal.
Like prostitutes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not illegal. It's just
Are you
like
underage?
21.
Wait,
plus
how old are
thing.
you?
I'm 16.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be talking about this. Wait, Brittany, are you older age?
Yep.
Okay.
No, I'm a debater though. It's not like
I don't know.
Like-
I don't know.
okay. If I say I own a debate club, I go out on competitions and stuff for these kind of things. Would that help?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Anyways, I think it's just legal based on age. Like a
Well,
21 plus thing. You know?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that is so long as you are an adult, I think you should be allowed to make your own choices. You know? And
I mean, it is. It's not like it's a good thing, but it's just like it can't just be illegal. You know, it'll never be illegal. You know, the frickin' place we live in. So
America tends to be very very strict about those things, especially in red states. But Brittany, I was just going to my last point was that fundamentally all jobs require you to work in order to gain money, in order for you to live. And just because somebody has to do something that you might consider to be compromising does not change whether or not they are choosing to just do that work or not.
It's not what I would consider to be compromising. It is compromising. It's a situation where it's like they're clearly. I don't
it should
even
be legal.
like. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. But like I've been stressing this, but you're choosing to. I don't want to be rude, but it's like the textbook definition of like what ignorance is, because it's like you. Like I will say again, you have empathy for people that want to do sex work willingly, but then you also don't recognize that there are people that are doing this job unwillingly so that they can pay for bills and food, and you're choosing to ignore the fact that because that they have to do that. Like you're choosing to ignore that. You're just saying, oh, with any regular job that this is the case, but this is not a regular job.
Do you? Well, I do think
can
that.
I state my point too?
Okay, go ahead, but.
I think it should also be illegal and stuff because of like exploitation and human trafficking. You know how that's like a whole big problem and stuff with pimps, you know? And there's like it's literally like they're getting they're there's objections and stuff, and it's just like a big bad community thing. How do I like word this? Wait.
Yeah, okay, so if I'm
It's
going,
like-
let me know if
like,
you're
you know
if I'm
how-
telling
you
you
know
what
how,
you're
like,
saying. You're
the
correct. You're
human
saying it has a
factors
negative
related to-
effect on on the community, and people could. There's a potential for people to be forced to do the job without their consent. So therefore, we should ban it outright
and
to
human
prevent that.
trafficking and exploitation.
And human
too.
trafficking, yes. Well, here's the problem, right? Now, when you outright say we should ban something because of a potential harm that could be done,
Well,
I
it's not banned. It's just illegal. It's not like banned.
well, that is when you make something illegal. Okay, you're basically saying that you should not be allowed to do this thing. Period, regardless of whether or not you choose to do that thing or don't choose to do that thing.
Wait, do you know where it is legal?
Not specifically. I know in the U.S. it's illegal for the most part.
Are you guys debating whether or not drugs?
No, actually, prostitution is only legal in
yes.
Nevada. Literally in the U.S. only in Nevada, and that's only because Vegas and stuff. But
Respectfully,
It is
I'm not sure you're
illegal.
respectfully. I respect your ambition to have a debate, but I don't think this is a debate that you probably should be having. I think this might be too complex for you.
it doesn't matter.
So I'm gonna move back to Brittany, okay? All right. So Brittany, just because something might be compromising, or you may, sex work to me is no different than using your body.
Yeah, this guy's just like.
I have no issue with sex work as long as it's regulated.
If it was legal, the potential for harm gets reduced.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking as well. Like, there should be parameters around it. Like you're saying, like it could be like I heard you say it could be a potential. No, it's not. It could be a potential harm. It is a harm for these people. Those are the
Not
factors that
necessarily.
they consider when they create the law. Yeah, for the people that I just explained, the people that have to that are
If it is
forced
legal,
to do
then
this,
there is market competition, which reduces
that's
the harm.
literally the life that they have to live. Like, that's something that they have to live with. I believe in sex work, but I believe there should be parameters against it where these people aren't being forced to do this, as a last means. Like, if it's
I don't
not something that
disagree
they
with
want to
you.
do,
I don't
but they
disagree with you.
have to do it, then there should be laws in place so that they don't have to do it.
I 100% agree with you. I think that if a person is forcing a woman to work against her will, I think that should be illegal. But I do think that if a person is choosing to have sex for money, then that should be their choice, regardless of the circumstances.
It's not a choice, though. That's what I'm I believe for people, it could be a choice. But again, you're framing me as saying the people that are homeless and that go out to have sex, that it's a choice. It's not a choice in itself if it's the last thing they could do for them to survive. That's not a choice. That's something they have to do.
One, that's an assumption. Two, even if that was true, they should be allowed to make that choice, even if it is their last resort, because fundamentally, if you take away that choice from them, then they have nothing. And they're screwed.
Because they literally do have nothing.
Well, now they have nothing. Now they have one less option.
For example, I've been in a position where the last thing I would have needed was money, and I had to consider okay, where am I going to
So
get
basically,
this money from?
Respectfully, you're a moral micromanager. You're a person who thinks
no, because you're going to frame me as
let me finish.
Because I've experienced this, then this must be the same for everybody.
No, hold on, let me
but
finish.
That's not
let
what
me
I'm
finish.
saying.
Let me finish. Hold on, let me finish. So you're basically a moral micromanager. So you're basically saying, I think the homeless people should work unless they do something that I don't like. But it's just you shouldn't be allowed to make choices on behalf of homeless people. They should be allowed to make their own choices.
No, actually, I used my experience as an example because that is the experience for a lot of women out there as well. If you need resources where I can show you where it has been the experience for a lot of women, then you would understand what I'm talking about. But you're choosing to say that I'm some sort of micromanager. No, these are the experiences for a lot of people.
Well, you said I was
ignorant. I study sexualities, relationships and families. talked with people who've done sex work. This is something that is a real reality. So when I say that there should be parameters around it, is to protect the people that do fall into the example that I'm talking about, that specific category, so that they don't have to be forced to do sex work. That is something
I don't
forced.
disagree.
That's not
I
something
disagree.
it's
I
not
don't
a
disagree.
choice.
I don't disagree. If somebody is forcing a
What would you do? What would you do if you had no food? If you had no food and you're relying on one, you need food, right?
That's
And you
how it
have
is right
no
now. I only
money.
have one job.
Who are you relying on?
My job. Anyways, listen.
But you don't have a job.
Listen, I don't disagree. Well, sex work is a job. I don't disagree.
Sex work
right?
isn't a job.
Hold
when
on,
it's not
let
something
me
that they
make.
choose.
Oh my God, you're killing me. You gotta let me make my argument, please. So, I don't think. Listen to me. I don't think if you want to have sex for money, just because they're doing something that you don't like, doesn't mean that they're being forced to. No, if a woman is being forced, I don't disagree with you. If a woman is if somebody's going up to a woman and saying you need to work and have sex for money, and if you don't do so, I'm gonna do this to you, then I agree.
You don't
that should
agree
be,
with me. You're
whoa,
choosing
whoa,
to
whoa,
be
whoa,
ignorant.
No. You're not letting me finish. You're not letting me finish.
Because you're reframing me. You're literally strawmanning me.
I'm not strawmanning you. Listen to me.
Yes, you are. You're saying you agree with me, and then you're saying you agree with me, and then you're saying something completely different. You don't agree with me. Why would you lie in my face?
No, you're saying that you think it should be illegal for women to be forced to have sex for money. And I agree with you. I don't think women should be forced. If a person is forcing a woman to have sex for money, I think that should be illegal. But if a woman chooses to have sex for money, if a homeless person chooses to have sex for money, they should be allowed to. I think that's perfectly fine.
You're not understanding the example that I'm saying, though.
How are they being forced?
You're saying that women that do come from like a specific background where they can't afford food and it's their last resort, that's still a choice. I'm saying that it's not a choice.
Who's forcing them?
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
I can't hear ya cause my headphones are doomed.
Wait,
maybe
listen.
that's where the differences lie. But you're saying
that a woman. Hold on, let's just make this very crystal clear. You're saying that a woman who doesn't have money to eat and she chooses to have sex, she's being forced to have sex, because if she doesn't have sex, then she won't be able to eat. So my question to you is, who's forcing her to have sex? Like, which person can you point to that we can throw in prison
There's many other things
for forcing her to have sex?
The system is are you understanding what I'm saying? She's being forced to have sex so that
there's no crime.
If there's no food in her stomach.
If there's no criminal, there's no crime.
If you want to find a specific
there's no criminal, there's no crime.
Find a specific place to blame, maybe you can blame the system. Maybe these people aren't being, maybe she isn't able to get a job specifically.
Who is that?
There are a lot of
Who is
factors that
that?
influence it, but you want me to place
The
one
system?
specific
Who is
blame,
that?
and that's not the case.
The
You want me
system?
to
Who is
find a
that?
specific hello?
The system. Who is that?
Who is that?
Yeah, who's the system?
The system.
Are
you
is that?
okay?
You're
Okay,
asking.
Brittany.
I'm asking you to point me to a specific person who's forcing that person to have sex for
Like
money.
I said, there are multiple
and you said the
factors that
system.
can
So I'm like, who is
influence
that?
You want me to say who? Like, you're not making any sense.
Who is
You want me to
forcing
say,
them?
oh, one
Who's
specific
forcing them?
individual is what's causing somebody
can I
not
just
to
say
do
something?
something?
Sure, you could go
Can I
ahead,
say
bro.
something? So if there's an ugly homeless guy on the street, right, and he's struggling to get food for himself, he doesn't have the potential to go out and become a sex worker, so he has to come up with other ways to go get food. Is that not relevant to a woman? Not every woman is attractive, and not every woman is, so like, what makes you think that they would even make money as a sex worker, every single woman? And they also have other alternatives. They're in the exact same position as a man who's homeless. And
How about you rephrase your question? Maybe rephrase your question a bit, because I didn't really understand what you were asking.
Same here.
What do you mean?
Could you rephrase your question? Because I didn't understand what you asked.
It wasn't a question.
Oh, could you rephrase your statement? Because I didn't understand what you were trying to say.
Well, I've already said it now. I can't remember exactly what I said.
It's like you could have said like what you said. It could have made sense, but then there was also like, what was the meaning of that? Like, what was the connection of it?
Like, you know how you're saying that because a woman's on the street and she's hungry and she has no way of getting food. So if she goes to go do sex work, it's not her choice because she's hungry and she has no other way to get food. But that's wrong because she does have other ways to get food. Homeless men get food all the time without resorting to sex traffic.
Okay, what's the argument here?
Okay, so the argument that she's making, and so basically she's saying that because women are, there are women who are in poverty, and they don't, from her eyes, they don't really have a choice but to have sex or do sex work, because if they don't, then they're going to be in worse poverty or might starve or something like that, right? Whereas my argument is...
Whereas is forced to buy a sandwich because she's hungry.
Whereas my argument is,
the cafe owner is coercive.
You could make that argument about pretty much any job. Because if you don't work any job, then like eventually you're gonna starve to death. And like if I decide to, like if I stop, hold on, let me finish my argument. So my argument was essentially like, oh well, you can say that about any job because if you don't work at all, like if I say I'm gonna just lie in bed all day and do nothing, eventually I'm gonna die of starvation. So does that mean that I'm being forced to work my normal job because, you know?
Wait, Brittany, why is your argument that the only choice is sex work?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, there's other choices that you can have apart from just sex work.
There are other choices that you can have, but when you resort, like as your last choice, when your last thing that you could do is having sex to get that money, then that's forced.
Like, there's
always a last choice. What you could do. Yeah, it does though. It definitely does. You can go to shelters and maybe
hold on, guys. Let her make her point, please. Let her make her point. Go ahead.
You can go to shelters and you can be full. You can ask people for money and people still may not give you money. A lot of these ideas, the last thing that choice could be is sex work. She could be thinking of so many other things as well. But like I'm saying, like if someone is desperate for money and they need that money, if the last choice is just sex work, I have to do it, even if it's not for money, even if it's just for food, that's like a basic necessity that a lot of people can't access. That's not a choice. He has to do that to survive. He or she. Because my point is not only on women.
Again, if you want food, there are
there is other ways.
Hold on, Brittany. You that was just let him respond to that.
No,
and
that's
then you can go.
No, I'm saying there's a clarifying here, right here. I'm just saying there is a choice, but I'm talking specifically about the last choice.
Okay. No, go ahead.
What I'm saying is there's always other places you can go get food from, other soup kitchens, other people who are willing to give money to, other people that are willing to hire homeless people and give people shelter for work.
Like I said, those are all options. But if her last choice, if she's done all of that,
can I respond real quick?
If she's done all of that and her last choice is to do that, then that's not a choice anymore. Like, do you understand what I'm saying?
I got a response.
I got a response. You can keep repeating how many options.
And then whoever wants to go next can go next after me. So my argument is fundamentally, even if it was the last choice, even to take your hypothetical at face value, I still would say it's not necessarily forced, because if you believe that person is being forced, then my next question is, by whom?
I've already told you, so I don't know.
I don't know. You can't point if you can't point to a person.
That being like food and stuff is a basic necessity. So because of that, it's not. The person is getting forced indirectly because they need food to live.
Well, if you're not being forced by another person, then you can't claim that you're being forced.
If I ever needed food to live, and that was the low point of my life, and the food that I could get was all this trash that's on the supermarket shelves, and I was begging for that kind of food, I'd just kill myself.
I mean, until you're in that situation, you don't ever know.
But I would still make the choice. I still think it's a choice.
even in that scenario, that's not a choice. You're doing that so you can survive. What?
Well, actually, he's doing it to die because he wants to die.
If he had the opportunity to not do it, he wouldn't do it. But because he needed to do that, then
But couldn't you make the same argument for every single job? Like, we all need to work to live, right? Like, if I stopped working tomorrow and just sat in my bedroom all day and did nothing, like, eventually I'd die of starvation, right?
Honestly,
the difference is that's your choice.
I do that every day.
I argue that women choose to have sex for money. Like, I don't see any person forcing them to have sex for money the same way that I choose to work the job that I do. Just because you think it's compromising or feel it may make you feel uncomfortable that people have sex for money doesn't mean that person is being forced.
Do you not recognize that like there are like systematic like forces that's stopping somebody from being able to like access?
If there's no criminal, there's no crime. From my perspective, if there's no criminal, then there's no crime. Go ahead, Undertaker.
I was 15, so I do know about what it's like to be homeless, and I didn't go selling myself on the street. I did thieve, I did steal, I did
unbased.
Everything bad.
I'm gonna
basically to try and get money, but I didn't.
Real with you, right? I have like I'm pretty much a cash millionaire in dollars, right? And I'm literally at this point in my life, I've been homeless when I was 16, but I will say that when I was 16, 17, I would never have done anything sexual for money. I'm 35 years old and I'm cash rich. I don't need to do anything. I'm literally about to open an OnlyFans account and start fucking.
No, that's good for you. I'm glad that you're making millions of dollars, but that has nothing to do.
Just because I can and it makes money.
Hold on. Nobody asked you about your millions of dollars. Nobody cares about your millions of dollars.
What I'm saying is like
it doesn't have. What's the point?
Why does everyone make out like selling your body and doing shit like that is such a bad thing?
But I never said it was a bad thing. I never said that. What I said was that if it becomes a last resort and it's something that they don't want to do, it's no longer a choice.
Absolutely is a choice.
Like maybe if you take the idea of like North America, like if you take North America out and you think of like women, can you shut up?
Hold on, let her make a point.
Caribbean countries or like just countries that don't even compare to like North America or Asia or any of those other countries. Like people and yeah, and think of all of those countries where you don't have the luxury.
Don't interrupt her, please.
You don't have the luxury to go to these places and like get help get help from other supports, and you have to rely on sex so that you can make money because maybe you try to get a job and you can't do that because like people aren't hiring, or maybe there aren't enough jobs to be able to hire everybody. That's not like. In that area, and if you don't want to have sex, that's something you might have to think of as an option.
If you think it's bad now, it's gonna get much, much worse over the coming years.
Okay, can I ask a question for everybody? Just a question for everybody. What's your guys' opinion on sex for rent? Do you think it should be illegal, legal? What do you think? What do you guys think?
Legal.
Illegal.
Oh, well, of course you're
legal.
A man would say legal because he's probably going to be the one leasing out the house to a woman.
No, not even that.
All right, so whoever said
pussy's a commodity. If you look at it in any other way, you're cooked.
All right, so whoever said hold on one second.
Relationship between a man and a wife in a Christian family, right? There's a transactional sexual thing going on there. Is that
so? Whoever said that it should be illegal, could you give your reasoning, and maybe we could respond and get a little conversation going? Go ahead.
No one said it was should. What? Who said?
Well, somebody said it should be illegal.
Yeah, there were multiple.
Yeah. Okay, I guess they're not speaking up now.
Wait, yeah, I said that it was illegal. Why do I think it's illegal?
No, I said, why do you think it should be illegal? I asked if you guys think it should be illegal.
Yeah, it should be illegal because it shouldn't be women should not be used that way, bro. It's not like I'm going to be, oh yeah, I'm gonna give you money for again. No, let me fuck you, please. That's stupid. That's a stupid idea.
You know what should be illegal?
Why?
Yeah, but I think it's a little bit weird, right? Because let's say, as opposed to the guy saying, "I'm gonna, you could have sex with me to pay the rent," he just gives her says, "Hey, I'll have sex with you, and I'll give you the money that the rent is worth," and then he does that, and then she uses that to pay the rent. Would that make a difference?
If it's consensual and there's like a specific routine on it, so like maybe the end of the month or the end of every week, that
he's
could
getting to have sex with the woman, and then he's also getting the rent money. What the fuck?
No, I'm saying he's giving her the money, and then he gets it back.
Yeah, I understand that. But so what he's doing is he's getting free sex, and then also just giving her money and then getting it back.
Yeah, but technically she's using it to pay the rent. So then she's getting free rent, essentially.
Yeah, but then you might as well.
He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand.
You might as well just let her do the sexual act for the because you're literally just giving her money to get it back.
Yeah, I don't think you understand. You don't understand what I'm saying.
No, you don't understand what he's saying.
No, it's just like it was just a hypothetical. I think you guys are overthinking it.
I think people should do what they want.
Based.
No, hell no.
Hell no. Why not?
What?
Why not?
No, I'm saying that we should. Yeah, we can do what we want, but it's not to a point where I'm actually gonna do something that's gonna ruin my life.
What if you want to ruin your life?
What if I want to ruin my life?
Paying the rent's gonna ruin
Okay, then
your
I'll
life.
ruin my life. Okay.
So sex for rent. So okay, so we're all for sex for rent. Sex for rent is base.
Have you seen rent prices these days? It does ruin your life.
The rent is too damn high.
Yeah.
I meant.
So we're all good with sex for rent. Brittany, you don't have a problem with sex for rent? I was expecting you to have a problem with it.
If it's legal and it's routine and there's like, sorry, not legal. If it's consensual and they have a routine and it's like under a contract that could protect both
So I
persons.
gotta be
if
like, hey, in this
somebody-
contract, you gotta have sex with me like 4 times a week, and she signs it. Then
Oh,
she's
definitely. Because would you want your landlord to come to your house one day when you're not prepared to have sex with them, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna start having sex every day, and like
Honestly,
you don't have a say in it.
Women will never tell you the straight up truth, but at the end of the day, it's every woman's dream to open her legs to pay the fucking rent. It's like a commodity, dude. Like, there's no risk.
imagine not having to work and you just have sex.
I guess I'm not a
with your
woman then.
landlord.
There's these things called condoms
Wow.
and this shit called alcohol.
I guess
which
I'm
makes
not a
you
woman
very-
then. Like what?
Yeah, you're cooked. You're not gonna admit it, but your subconscious desires basically getting fucked.
That bro, those are your desires,
It's
okay?
really
I don't know.
not. Maybe that has to be your desires, because I can do quite fine with finding sexual pleasure without having to rely on a man to.
Bro, it's not about sexual.
Oh wow, you don't need a man. Oh
You just
wow.
said. You just
Did you
said.
see how
You
she flipped
just.
the script? Wow, you don't need a
literally
man.
just said
She
it's
doesn't need a
every
man.
girl's dream. It's every girl's desire. You said that it's their desire. So you're saying that I'm interested in it.
She's like, oh my god.
How are you strawmanning your own self?
I can get my pleasure in different ways. I don't need to.
Did he not say that, KingSithis?
I don't even know what he's saying that
Did
you
he
said.
say? Did his words start with "It's every woman's dream to do blah blah blah"? Did
Oh
he
yeah,
not
he
start
did
with
say
that?
that. He did say that.
Exactly. Don't
No,
strawman your own self.
State equals
It's your
mafia.
subconscious, dude.
Natural law equals
Okay.
freedom.
All right, so we need to talk. We need
The
to talk
child
about
is in
something
your
more
care.
controversial because we're
If
all
it was
agreeing a
legal,
little too
the
much here.
potential for harm gets
It's a
reduced.
subconscious thing. If a
If
woman
it is legal,
can
then
have
there is
sex,
market
not
competition
get
which
pregnant.
reduces
It's not
the harm.
subconscious though.
X
If a
is
woman
forced
can
to
have
buy a
sex
sandwich
with a
because she's
relatively
hungry.
attractive man,
Therefore, the cafe
not
owner
have a
is
baby
coercive.
because they're using contraception
She's
and then
making
pay
an
her
absurd
fucking
argument.
bills, subconsciously,
Needs
she's
aren't
gonna
rights.
desire that more than anything else.
I don't really think so. Like maybe that might be
you
like a
don't need-
few.
You
like
don't need to think so.
you
I'm a
can't
man,
say
and
that's
I'm
for
telling you
every
so.
woman's. Well, I'm a woman,
Bro,
and
when
I'm
did
telling
this
you
turn?
that's
When did
different.
this turn into a red
Women don't
pill
shoot
dot
straight.
like
Women don't
podcast?
shoot straight. Women never say what they mean.
When did this turn into a
No,
red
I'm
pill
telling
fucking
you just
podcast?
how I feel. What you're
The
saying
women-
right now sounds like some level of degeneracy from
The
being on
women-
the
You know what?
internet.
Women will stand
I
there.
know.
She'll
Wait,
be
I
like,
know how. I know how we can settle this. AXM or whatever your name is. Did you ever have a relationship with a woman?
with the I'm not gonna
Where's
answer
that
that
woman?
question.
You took too long to answer.
I've never been with a woman in my life.
because he's just basically cooked anyway.
I've never seen a
woman,
vagina in my
a
life.
woman like you will say all that shit, right? When the landlord comes into the apartment, she's standing there in like some fucking stringy little fucking dress, right? Like dressed like
No.
a complete... No.
I
let
bet
me
she'll
finish.
flip her script.
No.
She'll flip the
She's
script
standing
when
there like
once the guy looks like a
complete
Chad.
fucking-
If the guy looks like a
she's
Chad, she'll
standing
flip the
there.
script
Let me
real quick.
finish what- let me finish
You're
what I'm
gonna
saying.
pay me
She's
to have sex
standing
with this
there.
guy?
Let me
My whole life doesn't rely around sex. Like I hope you all know I have
standing
passions and
there.
aspirations.
This is how it would work.
I
She'd
don't
be standing
only
there in a
focus. My
silky-
whole life doesn't
Look how she's
revolve around
defending
sex.
herself.
All right,
Why don't
guys,
you
such a
finish what I'm
guys.
saying?
All right,
Why
guys.
don't
Whoa,
you let me
whoa,
finish
guys.
what I'm
Everybody,
saying?
everybody,
You're
be
such
quiet.
a
Everyone, stop.
degenerate.
Axiom.
You're such a
Axiom and Brittany. I will start muting if you guys do not stop talking. I will mute if you guys do not stop talking. Right, guys.
Let me finish saying
Stop.
what I'm gonna say.
Stop. No. Hold on. Guys, both of you
You're
guys.
so scared. She's
I'm
gonna be
not scared
standing
of
there in a-
anything. Wait, listen to me. I'm not scared of
You're
anything.
a simp.
This
Shut the
is
fuck up.
this
Shut
is my
up.
room.
You're
If
a
you don't,
simp.
okay. If you don't like being in here, you can
You're
get
a
the fuck
simp.
out.
You're acting like a
I'm
simp.
not
Let me
acting
speak.
like a simp.
Let me finish my
I'm
sentence.
not-
Why are you
All right.
taking him serious, KingSithis?
Let me finish my sentence.
I'm not gonna let you finish your sentence.
You'd walk, as a landlord, you'd walk into the apartment. She'd be standing there in a.
All right. So.
I was looking at his neo pronoun. It thingy.
Ay. So
Oh my god, it's really funny.
this is not the Red Pill podcast, okay, guys? This is not Fresh and Fit, okay, guys? This is the Legalize.
pink pill.
This is the Legalize guns, drugs, and prostitution room. So let's try to stick to that,
With the drug
okay?
things, like, is that all drugs? Because that's retarded.
Yeah, of course, all drugs. Why not?
That's literally retarded.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because
Why
some
not? Because I used to buy weed off a drug dealer, right? And he was a meth addict, and he used to give his sons and pure meth that you'd inject at the age of like 12 and under, and they're all crack addicts at the age of 12 and under, and they're. You think that's fine?
Obviously not. I don't think kids should be allowed to do drugs.
But you obviously do because legalize all drugs.
That so basically what you're saying is because if I legalize drugs, there's a chance that a child might get high. So because I support legalizing drugs, that means I support that child getting
It's gonna
high.
be a lot more high.
I mean, there's children that drink alcohol and they don't usually get caught.
Well, let me ask you a question, Undertaker. Do you think that cars should be legal?
If cars.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Why?
That's
Why?
so...
Because they kill
I mean,
people.
all of those things have parameters around it. So you can just make a I will loud mic.
Okay, go ahead.
Like
whatever.
you can make amendments to it. Like you can say this is legal, but for like children underage, then this isn't legal. Like just the same with cars. Like there's a reason why there's like laws in place where it's like this is allowed, but not for this specific person.
Okay, so my question was, and I don't want an interruption. All right, I let you say what you wanted. So
Yeah.
my question was, do you think cars should be illegal?
Yeah, I think it's like not even you shouldn't even justify the question because what the fuck has that got to do with anything?
I'm just wondering, do you think they should be illegal or no?
Again, cars aren't drugs, so
I didn't. Did I ask you if cars are drugs?
we're talking about drugs. So why you bring
No, I'm asking you if you think cars should be illegal. Yes or no? It's a pretty simple question. I don't see why. Are you like? Do you not know what the definition of cars is?
Yes.
No, it's a typical fucking gotcha question.
It's not a gotcha question. You did a gotcha question to me literally 5 seconds ago.
Yours
Okay,
is a
so
gotcha
are you too scared to answer the question? Do you not know what a car is? Like, why are you refusing to answer
No,
the
because I'm not
question?
going to answer your question because it's a gotcha question.
It's not a gotcha question. It's a simple yes.
No,
Do you
ask
own a
me,
car?
bro. I think that drugs should be
Okay,
illegal.
Fatah, since you seem to have a bit of a higher IQ than this guy,
Did you just say
do you think
Fatahs?
that do you think that cars should be illegal?
What?
Fatas.
Yeah, Fatas. Okay, no, they should not be illegal.
Okay, so does that mean that you don't care about the children who die in drunk driving accidents?
It's almost like I predicted this exact answer. It's almost like I knew this was exactly the
So wait, you don't care about the children who die in drunk driving accidents?
It's almost like
no, wait. You guys just made the argument. You guys just made the argument.
Literally what he was doing.
There's literally a legal age that you should be driving at, bro. Anyways, it's illegal to drunk drive, bro. It's illegal to drunk drive.
Okay, but people still get into accidents and drunk drive and kill children, right?
I don't like how you tried to gaslight him.
I do it still, but it's illegal.
I didn't gaslight. How did I gaslight him?
No,
how did I gaslight him?
You trying to make it sound like you weren't actually doing that when you literally did it.
I didn't say I wasn't doing a gotcha question. I just asked.
You were like, are you too afraid to answer the question? And it was like, no, I'm not afraid. I know this is going to be a gotcha.
Yeah, because I wanted him to answer the question. I know. Nah. It doesn't matter if it's a gotcha question. He did a gotcha to me. He was literally like, hold on. He was literally, hold on. Let me justify. All right, I got you. So you were like, oh, well, you don't care. Well, if we legalize drugs, there's going to be a higher chance of children dying or getting high off drugs or overdosing because drugs are now legal. Where I was like, okay, well, if we made cars illegal, that increases the likelihood that kids are going to die of cars. So does that mean that you don't care about children dying in car accidents because you think that we should make it legal?
For children to drive and drink.
No, but even though it's illegal for children to drink and drive, children still get hit by cars from drunk drivers, right?
Yeah, it's illegal.
And if we banned cars out, hold on, wait. So if we banned cars outright, that would reduce the amount of children being killed by cars, right?
Wait, can you ask again?
If we made cars illegal completely, that would most certainly reduce the amount of children being killed by cars, correct?
Yeah, but that's like the leftoid thinking of guns are bad. Guns are so bad. We're gonna remove all the guns. Guns need to be removed.
No, I don't think we should ban guns. I think we should legalize all guns.
But then there's also a good example that works for the car example. Like, cars are bad for the environment. You should try to stop driving as much.
There you go.
And like,
For
a lot of countries, they rely more on like public transit and making it better.
So we should ban cars from your okay. So we need to ban cars, right?
My point is amendments, not banning it.
So we do need to ban cars.
Wait, I get your point, Brittany, and KingSithis is clearly agreeing to it. So you're saying, doesn't drugs kill people? Doesn't drugs harm people? So why are we not banning?
Ignore me.
We need to ban drugs. We need to ban drugs. We need to ban cars. We need to ban drugs. We need to ban all.
Drugs are banned.
But cars are not banned.
What's that got to do with anything?
Yeah, because you guys are. So we need to ban cars. So you guys don't care. Wait, so you don't.
The economy would shut down.
Yeah, but so you don't care about the children dying from car accidents?
That's just a fucking typical gotcha. You don't care.
You made the same argument to me, did you not?
Just stop talking, bro. You're just your typical fucking gotcha. Everything you do is just set up a gotcha.
Oh, it's a gotcha. Did you not make the same argument to me that, oh, you don't care about the children who are dying from overdoses?
I didn't say that. I said that is it bad for kids to be addicted to
drugs? I think we all think that it's bad for kids to be addicted to drugs. Yes. I don't think that there's anyone in this room that thinks it's good for children to be high on drugs. I don't know, man. I don't know any of the rest of you guys, but I'm just making an assumption. I'm making an assumption.
And would making it legal make it more available for underage people to get it? Yes, it would.
Exactly.
Okay,
like
so
cars.
And just like cars. And if we so we should ban cars from your perspective.
I've already explained to you why you can't get rid of cars. The economy would shut down. People
But
would be
ethically,
out
we
of
could get rid of cars. Like ethically, we should you should support banning cars because I mean, do you not care about the children who get killed in cars accidents?
But it's fucking illegal for children to drive, bro.
If I could add my little one too.
Sure.
So for example, like in Canada, right? We all know like weed is illegal weed is legal in Canada. So much so that it's very accessible. You'll probably find one at like very nearby, like 5 minutes. The amount of like children I see doing weed regularly because it's so accessible, it becomes like almost like a negative for having weed as well, like having it legal. Even though I agree personally with having it, it's just like because it's so easily accessible, it could fall into the wrong hands, and we have to recognize that.
No, I 100% agree. I think that having cars more accessible to people most certainly increases the high likelihood of people getting hit by cars, drunk driving, killing children, murdering children, people driving their car into people and killing them. So if we ban all cars, or we made cars illegal, we would most certainly reduce all of the accidents that happen to children in car accidents. So therefore, if you don't,
it's different in the sense that you actually have to go out and practice and like get your driver's license and be approved to get it. And when you get into an accident, most of the time it's because of something poor that you did when you were driving. Like it's not like there aren't laws around what you can do while you're driving.
I just want a quick yes or no to this. If we banned cars, the amount of children being killed by cars would go down, correct?
Correct. Yeah. You know what is also a true fact? That the amount of kids that die in car crashes would be, if all drugs were legalized, would be insignificant to the number of kids that would die from drug overdoses.
That's not a question. That's just a question to my question. So my question was, if we made cars illegal, that would reduce the amount of children getting killed by car accidents, correct?
Okay, let's say yeah.
Yeah. So based on, and so if you support allowing people to drive cars, Undertaker, that means that you support those children being killed, right?
No, it doesn't. That's just stupid. That's like saying, oh, you support that guns should be available for the public, and then you support school shootings, you support acts of terrorism.
You do, because you said you do. No, that's your logic. And the reason why... Hold on, let me explain. Let me explain, please. And I'll let you go after me. I'll promise. So let me explain. You just told me, you just literally made the point. Sithis, you do know that if we legalize drugs, the percentage of children who might overdose or do drugs might go up. So clearly you're okay with that. So I said, okay, doesn't matter. Insert any horrible argument. So my question is like, okay, well, do you think cars should be banned? No, I don't think cars should be banned. Okay, well then, if we have cars being banned or not banned, that would increase. Excuse me. So that would clearly, it would clearly increase the amount of children being killed by cars. So you supporting cars being illegal means that you clearly support at least a certain amount of children being killed. The same way that you saying that I support legalizing drugs means that I support children being killed.
Do you buy stuff from China?
Yes.
Made in China. Do you buy stuff from made in China? You support slavery and socialist, communist dictatorships. You're a fascist.
Yeah, but I'm going by your standard. This isn't my standard. This is your standard. You do realize that, right?
Sithis.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that standard. I think that I think that guns, cars, and weapons should be legal. Go ahead.
I gave you a really good example of how, like, when marijuana became legal in Canada, that it often fell into the hands of like a lot of teenagers there, and they were able to have access to this, and it was negative. It was really negative for the economy. Like, it's a choice that they can make because it's so easily accessible. When you compare it to something like a car accident where it's not something that is a choice, it's because of reckless driving from other people. They don't choose to like go on the roads and decide to get hit one day. That's because of an accident. But the difference here is that often, a lot of the times, because it is accessible, children can make those choices and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to find a small vendor and say that I'm going to get this. And that's not good. You're trying to make it sound like as though like, because it's one bad outcome out of like all the pros of it, of having this thing, but it's also something to take into account.
Okay, so you guys do agree that cars should be legal, right? Because I think that cars, guns, and weapons and drugs should be legal. You haven't responded
to what I said. You're just...
Well, I'm going to respond. I just want a quick yes or no from all...
He's going to continue with his little gotcha car moment that has nothing to do with drugs. And then he's just going to continue with that for the rest of the time.
Well, it's a perfect parallel. So, all right, so then I'll use a different example. Do you guys think that climbing Mount Everest should be illegal?
Oh my god, I can't stand this guy.
I think you should just like make your point.
Well, I don't know if I guess you guys are incapable of answering yes or no questions. Then I guess that's fine. I'll treat you guys like 12-year-olds.
You're doing this thing where you're gaslighting again, which is not cute.
Oh, what do you think gaslighting means? What do you think gaslighting means?
You can still make your point without having to include your example, so that you can feel like some sort of like.
You don't even know what you're saying. Respectfully, Brittany, just let me make my point because you're embarrassing yourself.
Some kind of high you get from trying to like ask the most obvious questions ever. But you can still make your point without having to do that. Like it's kind of like a dumbing down kind of thing. You can have respect for people and just still make your example.
I don't think I've been disrespectful to any of you guys.
When you did the first gotcha moment and he called you out on it, you laughed because you knew what you were doing. You know what you were doing.
It's called a debate tactic. It's called a debate tactic.
Yeah. And you know it's a negative debate tactic because you don't have respect.
I don't think it's very well. Is respect a prerequisite for a debate? Like I don't. And also, which way did I disrespect? In which way? I don't think I disrespected you guys in any way. I simply used a debate tactic you didn't like. That's the difference. I never called you names. I never said anything about you. And in fact, you disrespected me. You literally called me ignorant earlier today. You called me ignorant.
Yeah, I called you ignorant, but I definitely did say. I hope you remember what I said. I said that I'm not trying to be rude.
So look,
this is falling into the line of
one that's being disrespectful, huh?
Ignorant.
Look at the guy who's
not meant to be disrespectful.
You just called me again. You just called me ignorant again. Look who's being disrespectful, huh?
Oh my god, here we go.
Okay, you're just being weird because I told you.
Now he's playing the victim.
I told you when I
yes, I am. I'm the victim.
When I said the word ignorant, I didn't mean it in a way to hurt you. You're just pulling for straws right now when I call you out on it.
It doesn't matter the intent. It's about the consequences. It's not about the intent. Okay.
You could have mentioned it when I said it, but now you're bringing it up because I'm calling you out on your shit.
What did I do wrong? I didn't even do anything wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong. What I'm saying is that you could have a little bit more respect and use. You don't
I'm
have
not
to
being
use your
disrespectful. I don't think I'm being disrespectful in any way. I'm just debating. We're just having a debate.
If you don't think you're being disrespectful, and there are two people that are disagreeing with you and saying that like this is not okay.
We could we could disagree with each other while also being respectful. Like I don't think I've said anything disrespectful to anyone. So.
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat the same thing and expect you to understand what I'm saying because I've said that just because you don't think that you're being disrespectful,
your
two people inside this whole call
got
is
hurt
telling
because
you
I used a debate tactic you didn't like, and it feels like you're upset about it.
No, I'm not hurt. I just knew that you were doing it, and you just continued with it anyway. Even though I was telling you, I'm not saying I'm not.
No, but I don't. Okay, so explain to me. I want you guys to explain to me.
Like what?
I want you guys. Hold on. I want you guys to explain to me how that's not a hypothetical that maps onto the other example that I gave. Is it not an example that maps on to the hypothetical?
It does in the slightest sense.
Okay, so then I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay, I don't want to hear it.
Let me finish my sentence. You only want me to say what you want me to say, don't you? You only want to hear what you want to hear. I know. Calm down. You only want me to say the specific word that matches your agenda. I know it.
Go ahead. I'm literally not speaking. Go ahead. Make your point.
I've already forgotten my point, but you know.
Oh, that's your problem, I guess.
I think his point was pretty clear, though.
If it was clear, he would have remembered it.
You have a. He's actually it is clear. He's saying that you have a specific motive behind your examples, and you could choose not to use these examples, but you're doing it because of the motive.
I asked you guys a very specific question. How does my hypothetical not map onto the current hypothetical that is being given? And you guys are saying that it does. You just don't like it because it makes you look bad or whatever.
No, you're just making yourself look bad.
I mean, you can say I make myself look bad, but you can't say the hypothetical doesn't match on. But you can't say the hypothetical doesn't match on. Does the hypothetical match on? Yes or no?
You're getting frustrated, playing the victim, doing all of this shit. You'd literally be pulling out every debate tactic to try and get yourself back into this. But
in what way does that hypothetical not match onto the hypothetical that was being given? Explain.
I feel as though I also mentioned you can still make your point without having to use your
The topic is about
example.
legalizing drugs. And he said his argument, but we're talking about legalizing drugs, and these guys are butthurt because Undertaker was like, oh, if we legalize drugs, hold on, hello, let me finish, Brittany, let me finish, don't tell me, no, this is my room.
You're so hurt. That's why
I'm not butthurt. You're the one that's hurt.
You're hurt because I said you were disrespectful.
Who hurt you, Brittany?
You're standing in your hurtness. You're hurt.
Who hurt you, Brittany?
You're hurt, King.
Who hurt you, Brittany?
You're
Who
hurt.
hurt you?
You're hurt.
Who hurt you, Brittany?
Nobody hurt me, but I know you're hurt.
Who hurt you,
I know
Brittany?
you're hurt.
I'm very hurt.
You want to take up space so bad that when people call you out, you feel defensive.
I didn't do anything wrong. What did you call me out on? What did I do wrong for you to even call me out?
Keep living in that. You're like this person that fakes like you have empathy and you care about all of these things, but you really don't.
I never said that. I never said that.
You really don't.
I never said that.
But the things that you care about show that you have some level of care for humanity in some area, but then you don't even live by your own actions. You don't live by your values.
Because you're mad because I used a hypothetical you guys don't like?
Oh no, I'm not mad about that. I'm saying, but
this is what. Okay, can I make my argument? Can I make my argument now?
You from the beginning, my conversations with you from the beginning just shows that you just don't stand on your own values.
No, because you're just mad because I don't agree with you. That's really what the issue is.
I'm really not mad, actually. I'm mad that
you're not letting me talk. If you weren't mad, you would just let me fucking make my argument.
I won't let you talk because whatever you're gonna say is gonna be a whole lot of.
Then why are you in my room? Why are you in my room?
Why am I in your room? Hello, yes. Kick me then. Hello.
Why are you in my room if you don't want to let me talk?
Because I did not even know this was your room until just now. Hello.
Okay, so do you want to be kicked? Why don't you just leave?
Kick me if you want. You have the action, right? Just kick me. You could do that. You're a grown man. You can do it.
Okay, no problem. Anyways, so these women, this lady was and this guy was butthurt because they made an argument. They said, "Oh, if we legalize, they're not gonna let me make my point because if I make my point, it's gonna make them look bad. So they're gonna just continue to interrupt me. So what is gonna happen is, I basically said, hey, we should legalize drugs, and then Undertaker, and then he's gonna continue to interrupt me because he's scared. So I was basically, he was like, oh. You understand that if we legalize drugs, then the amount of children who overdose and get high,
other level of psychosis.
There must be a person that's going to, children are going to die and overdose on drugs. There might be a higher likelihood of that. And I was like, okay, well, do you believe we should legalize cars? And they said, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, if we legalize cars, obviously there's going to be a higher obviously there's a higher likelihood of children getting killed and run over by cars. So does that mean that you don't care about the children who get killed by cars?
Okay, so that's
sound like
obviously
a guy who believes in a little conspiracy.
That's obvious. That's obviously an argument that extends itself.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we can judge the usefulness value of cars and be like, okay, well,
What are you thinking about?
cars are way more useful, and it's way more useful and integral for society that 16-year-old be able to drive cars and 18-year-old be able to drive cars, whereas like a hard drug like heroin contributes, it basically adds nothing to society.
Right, at least this guy was able to make an argument.
There's no value to heroin. Heroin doesn't do
My
anything
point
for
is,
anybody.
my point is, you can still
Yeah, but you
still
didn't
make
make
your
that
point
point. You
without
just
having
started
to
arguing with me.
ask a specific question. Like you can say, oh, like, some people
No, you're
believe that
butthurt.
cars shouldn't be
What you're
like this,
doing,
but this
what you're
such-
doing
this
right
shouldn't
now
be like
is you're
that, but
tone
you're
policing
asking
me.
a question.
You're tone
you're
policing
asking
me
a
right
question
now.
that you're asking a question that you don't. I'm actually not tone policing. I'm actually saying that what you could have done could have been differently.
Yeah, you're
So it
tone
wouldn't have
policing me.
sparked this
Yeah,
whole
you're tone
outrage.
policing me. You're literally tone policing me.
Am I? Because
Yes.
I'm just saying what you could have done differently. I'm not
Did
telling
I
you to
ask
do it.
you?
That's
Did
what
I
tone
ask?
policing
Did I ask
is.
that? Your
Hello?
opinion on that? I don't think I asked
But
your
I'm
opinion.
not talking to you though. I'm telling the guy the whole situation. Hello?
Okay, so
You're tone policing.
who's on the of the opinion that we should legalize all drugs?
Me.
Okay, so I disagree.
Okay. Why?
I think we all
But
do.
They're
you're
not
the one
gonna let you
you're
make
the
your
one making
point,
the
but okay, go
proposition,
ahead.
So you go ahead and tell me why we should.
But cars kill you kids.
Okay, so yeah, that's the point you were unable to argue against. So so fundamentally, you're the owner of your body, which means that you have the right to choose what you want to put into your body, so long as you are initiating force against any other person.
You're so defensive.
And to argue otherwise, I mean, you're the one that's interrupting me.
Probably a drug addict.
Not a drug addict. So fundamentally, I mean, you guys don't have any arguments against any of my points. You guys are just making ad hominem attacks. That's literally just shows how good you guys are at debating. So you guys are incapable of making any arguments against any of my points. All you can do is make ad hominem attacks.
We're getting sidetracked, bro. The conversation's getting nuked by this
on YouTube.
Who cares, bro? Make your point. We haven't gotten past the
They're not allowing me to.
proposition of the channel, of the prompt.
They're not allowing me to.
Anarcho-capitalist guy, yes. You're the anarcho-capitalist guy, yes.
Hell yeah.
I'm so glad everybody can see some level of disrespect that this guy is.
Oh my god, I disrespected you. I'm so sorry. Brittany, do I need to buy you some napkins? Do I need to buy you some napkins? Do I need to buy you a diaper? Or a tampon?
You want to claim to be good. You want to be good faith so bad, but you're really not.
Oh, did I hurt your feelings,
Stand on your
Brittany?
own values.
I'm so sorry.
Stand on your values.
Next time I'll
bro.
coddle you a little bit
But I
more.
don't think it's playable with
I will
these
stand
people.
on your
No
dead
offense to you.
body.
Anyways, I'm gonna leave in 15 minutes because I gotta wake up for work tomorrow. Anyway, so.
Okay.
Any closing arguments, anyone?
Who the fuck do you think you're talking
Dude,
to, eh?
dude, what are you talking about closing arguments? We didn't get past the proposition.
That's not my fault.
Explaining the framework.
It's
for
not
your
my fault you
positive
joined
claim,
late.
The one that's in the prompt.
Are you the leader of this
It's not my fault you joined late.
Are you the leader of this
I've been in here for like 2 hours. I don't know what you want me to
The
do.
reason we don't understand the proposition is because it's stupid.
Well, then why are you here debating it?
I think you're basing off of a first comer's libertarian ethic, right? So if the burden of proof is actually on me, right? If I've ever heard a libertarian argue for anything ever, the burden of proof that anything should be done is on me as a second comer, since your body's your property. Okay,
Well,
so
yeah.
first of all, libertarian ethics are retarded, but we don't even we can work within the ethic of libertarian.
Well,
frameworks,
great
right?
argument.
So libertarian framework of ethics still acknowledges a greater good. So
Not true.
It still has axioms, right? That is true. That's what the NAP is for.
I've never heard anybody
It's not
say
just
the greater good.
conservation.
That's consequentialism. We're not consequentialists. We're deontologists.
Deontologist.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, libertarians are like at their very core consequentialists, since they're. I mean,
We're
okay, maybe the
deontologists.
very framework, the like very bottom of their ethics is deontological, but like
Of
in every
course.
practical concern, they're.
I mean, you could say everyone is a consequentialist, but we would be NAP consequentialist, which would be a deontological view on consequentialism.
Okay, but this is kind of tangential anyway.
Yes,
So
100%.
So, if we're discarding the greater good, then the argument can't go anywhere as long as people aren't acknowledging the libertarian framework of ethics. Because
well, that's why I'm trying to
99% of
convince people.
Believe that there's a. Okay, so it's bait. The actual conversation is about libertarian ethics.
No, it's about whether or not we should legalize drugs, guns, and prostitution.
Well, that argument is totally downstream of libertarian ethics, because the only person who could ever believe that is someone who ascribes to libertarian ethics.
I mean,
Everybody else would
even if that was true, it doesn't change whether or not what we're discussing.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, any intelligent conversation would instantly go to libertarian ethics, because it's the only place that could go. This prompt.
Well, I am a libertarian.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's great. So, what do you
Sorry, I'm
think?
a bit
Like,
rusty on that word. What does that mean again? Is that like the right?
What
word?
What are we asking?
A libertarian.
A libertarian is a person.
Is just,
Sorry.
Go ahead. You can define yourself. It's fine.
I would say it fundamentally. We are people who believe in the non-aggression principle, which is and self-ownership and private property. Essentially, the non-aggression principle is one does not have the right to initiate force against any person or another person's person or property or any threats thereof.
What I'm asking is it a libertarian left or right, like side of politics?
Small brain framework, but it's technically right.
Technically right, but
libertarians wouldn't say they're rightist. But
I wouldn't.
Technically rightist.
It's kind of hard question to answer because it really depends on what you're asking me. Like, for instance, like if you were to ask me, do I think we should have a minimum wage? I would say no. But do I think we should legalize drugs and prostitution? Yes. So that first viewpoint would be considered a right-wing viewpoint, whereas the other one would be considered to be a left-wing viewpoint. So it's kind of hard to say.
So libertarian ethics, right? First comer. So first of all, if I understand it correctly, every libertarian I've ever argued with says this. Okay, they say that I'm engaging in argumentation right now, so we have to acknowledge that the burden of proof is on the second comer, and the first comer doesn't have to prove anything.
That's argumentation
so
ethics.
A claim to land or private property is kind of like the most basic fact of like argumentative logic, and if you engage in argumentation without acknowledging the right to private property, then you're performing a contradiction. Did I get the gist of it?
Yes, that's argumentation ethics. I mean, I could be very autistic with you and nibble about the details, but I'm not going to do that. I would say
I'm not interested either.
His ethics are based in right-wing like ideology.
I guess you could say that. But
libertarianism is not necessarily right wing.
Well, anyways, can I make my argument real quick and then I'll let you go, Brittany?
Because
I was just gonna say
you made the.
Okay, just let me go real quick. So I was just going to say that that's argumentation ethics, but I don't use argumentation ethics to justify my claims. I'm a subjectivist. I don't know if argumentation ethics is 100% true yet. I just believe in the NAP because I think I support it fundamentally. I think it's the best ethic.
Okay, so if you're not taking it as an axiom, then it's some kind of consequential thing. Like, is
well, I believe in it deontologically.
That underpin libertarian ideology axiomatic, or are they?
Well, I believe in the non-aggression principle because I don't want my rights to be violated. Fundamentally, I don't want people to take my shit and harm me. So. That value system aligns most with my ethics, so I've chose that one.
So the rights element you brought up is informed by value argumentation ethics. Like that's where that comes
I'm making
from.
an argument.
Like you don't. Yeah. So we have to go to the bottom of it because I'm trying to show you that libertarian ethics are faulty. That's what I want to prove.
Well, if you're going to tell me that argumentation ethics is faulty because of this reason, I'm not going to be able to give you a solid argument for the opposition because I'm not a big proponent of argumentation ethics. I don't know much about it.
Well, argumentation ethics is the entire basis of libertarianism.
Incorrect. That's something that Hoppe created. And not all libertarians believe. Not all
libertarians is based off of argumentation ethics. It's
not true. No. I'm sorry, but you're just
of your natural rights, which you have.
You're
from
incorrect.
Argumentation
You're just
ethics.
incorrect. The non-aggression principle was created before argumentation ethics. Argumentation ethics was discovered by Hoppe, And the non-aggression principle was around long before he, because Murray Rothbard was the one that taught him about the non-aggression principle. So you just got your libertarian history a little bit wrong, which is okay because you're not an ANCAP.
Okay.
But I would say
I'm shut it out.
I'm not trying to be rude or anything.
So like, what's the function of the non-aggression pact? Is the leading question.
Well, it's everyone believes in rights, right? Everyone does, right? It's just what rights that you believe in, right? So, for instance, I believe in the non-aggression principle because it aligns most with my values. I believe very strongly in private property. I don't think people should steal from me. I don't think it's right for me to steal from others. These are ethics that I believe in very strongly. So therefore, because the NAP aligns very strongly with those values, I support the non-aggression principle. And that also goes for most people.
What about this though? If you legalized all forms of drugs, crime would skyrocket, and then you would be getting robbed all the time.
I disagree. I think the opposite would happen. In fact, you can actually make an argument that making drugs illegal increases crime. In fact, I have a YouTube video that I worked very hard.
So you want some heroined out junkie working for you in a job, who's dozing off?
Do I want to? Did I say? I don't remember saying anything like that.
I had a mate who's a heroin addict, and they doze off every fucking so often, and
don't work with him
out of reality, and you want them just being zombies in your workplace and paying them while being.
I never said I wanted, like, this whole idea of want. I want people to be allowed to make their own choices, but that doesn't mean that I think that everything they do should be done. So, for instance, I think you should. Excuse me. Hold on. Let me make my argument. Wait, Undertaker. Let me make my argument.
Be able to get a drug.
Okay, so I'm just going to continue talking. So, when I say I think that people should be allowed to make their own choices, right? That doesn't mean that I think everything that they do should be done. So, for instance, if somebody watches porn 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, I would probably tell him, hey, maybe you should lay off a bit. But do I think it should be illegal for him to do that? No. But do I think that making porn illegal increases the likelihood of people being addicted to porn? Yes. But do I care? No. Because fundamentally, people should be allowed to make their own choices with their own bodies.
Again, people watching porn in their own time, not in work, is one thing. But people coming into work blazed, like high on heroin, and you're saying, yep, it's legal because the drugs are legal, so these people should be allowed to get jobs. And you're saying,
if the person wants to hire the heroin addict, who are you to intervene?
It's so weird.
It's a serious question.
Like a libertarian, like the kind of like views he has is like someone who wants to be right wing, but it's not really good.
Listen,
good right wing, and he wants.
You don't know this first thing about libertarianism.
You want to be.
Okay.
You want to.
How about you read a book about libertarianism?
Okay. You want to be left wing as well, but it's like none of your views align with it. So it's like you're kind of like in that middle ground where you want things to work, but it's not working.
What was the last book you read on libertarian ethics?
Which is why like a lot of people. Which is why a lot of people probably
Brittany, what was the last book you read on libertarian ethics?
It's like, oh yeah, sex work should be allowed, but no, under these pretenses and like, even if it's unethical, like it's still allowed, like it's still a choice that they're making, like even though it's not ethical for some people.
I think people should be allowed to make choices, even if you think it's unethical.
It's a left wing. It's a left wing. It's a left. The idea itself is left wing, but you're framing it as like the most bullshit. It's like bullshit. It's like,
I know it's hard to comprehend.
You're framing it in a way where it's not really a choice. Like it's like, yes. It's one way or the other.
I know it's really hard for you to comprehend. You're having a heart attack right now.
You don't include any.
It's like a freaking earthquake for you. It's like a hurricane.
Even for example, you said like no minimum wage. That in itself is like that's like a right-wing ideology, but you don't even account for like how people deserve like basic respect and basic minimum wage and all of that kind of stuff.
So now we're moving to the minimum wage now, or?
It's just I'm just bringing up one of your points. I'm saying like your whole views in itself is flawed.
Yeah, I don't think you should force people to pay people more. than what the person who's working there agrees to. If I go to a job and and the minimum wage is $8 an hour, and I say, hey, I'm willing to work for $6 an hour for this job, and the government says, no, you're not allowed to do that, well, that's a violation of my rights. That's the state forcing me.
It's really not. It's no violation of any rights because.
What if I want to work? If I want to work,
the law specifically says that that's not legal. So it's not a violation of your rights. That's in the law.
So if the if the law said it's okay to rape, does that make it okay now?
You're making me mad. The specific law in itself was made to protect people from being paid less. You're using rape as a correlation to what I'm saying.
You're freaking using the government, the law as like, oh, it's illegal, so therefore
when the law is put
bad.
in place. When the law is put in place to help protect people so that they can actually like make decent wage and so that they can live off of like the money that they make.
What if I'm okay with the wage? What if I'm okay with the wage?
The minimum wage is set so that you can actually live off of it.
But what if I'm okay with the wage? I shouldn't be allowed to choose my wage, even if it's less than what the government says so?
You're actually making me mad. Like you're rage
Why
baiting.
what am I doing wrong? It's just a question.
Do you think in any realistic
internship should be illegal?
Do you think in any realistic sense that somebody could live off of $6?
Wait, do you guys think internship should be illegal? Do you guys know what an internship is?
No, I do know what an internship is, but like I don't see how it has any correlation to what I'm talking about.
You're working for free. So
yes, but the people that are doing these jobs are most likely trying to gain more experience for their field that they are trying to work in. You know what an internship is?
So it's okay to. I understand. I know what an internship is. There's a reason I brought it up, obviously. So the reason why I brought up the internship, right, is because you're basically saying, oh, it's okay to let this guy work for free. But if he gets paid $6 an hour when the minimum wage is $8 an hour, no bueno, not okay. But it's just like, wait a minute, what? Like, so you're saying
in the sense of it
why
being
does it
like
matter?
a co-op, then if you're talking in the sense that if it was a co-op, then it could be understandable. But
I don't
if
care
it was just any regular adult
I'm
working,
talking about
like
any regular business.
If they were working at McDonald's and they wanted their pay to be $6, that's not a livable minimum wage.
I think people should be allowed.
If it's in terms of a co-op, like oh my god. So you brought up the example internships and then tried to apply that to a specific way of living when that's an internship.
You're saying it should be illegal for someone to get paid less than say $8. Okay, so let's say the minimum wage is $8 an hour. You're saying, it should be wait. You're saying, it should be illegal. Wait. You're saying it should be illegal to pay somebody less than $8 an hour, but having them work for free, that's a-okay. Well, it's just like, wait a minute.
The thing with
why does it matter?
Is the thing with internships is that they're usually younger people who are still living with their parents.
So what?
And they don't need to pay rent.
And that's not necessarily true.
And they don't need to get food.
So what?
Because
that's not necessarily true.
Like I was gonna say, it could be justifiable if somebody was making like $8 an hour and they were like in a co-op, because then they are using that job so they can gain experience in their field, and they're also living with someone already prior to that.
But that's not necessarily true. So you're saying, like, if I'm a normal person, if I'm a normal guy, I should not be allowed to do an internship because I don't live with my parents.
Well,
is that what you're saying?
You can do an internship, but you would have to work as well. Otherwise, you'd die.
I shouldn't be allowed to do an internship unless I'm working. Is that what you're saying? So I have to have the internship and do a job.
You have to either be.
You can't get hired for an internship unless you're like trying to gain more experience in your degree.
So you're saying it's okay to pay people $0 an hour in that situation.
When you go on a job, right? When you go to a job and it says internship, it's for students specifically. It's for people that are looking for experience within their degrees, for their degree.
So you're saying it's okay to pay
You understand
students.
what I'm saying?
I do. So you're saying it's okay to pay students $0 an hour. but it's not okay.
No, I never said that. I said that it could be justifiable if somebody was paid $6.
How much do interns get paid? How much do interns get paid?
It fluctuates. There are paid internships and there are unpaid internships.
So you're saying that you think? Do you think internships should be illegal? Interns that get paid $0. Do you think that should be illegal?
No, I don't think it should be illegal.
Okay,
because
so
those
if
are
an
jobs
intern,
specifically that
so
specifically
paying
say
somebody $0 an hour, paying somebody $0 an hour is a-okay, but paying somebody $3 an hour, whoa.
The difference is that it's a student internship, which means it's specifically for you gaining more experience
That's not always true.
while you're pursuing your degree.
That's an assumption.
That's what an internship is. It's the literal definition of an internship.
So
it's catered for a student.
Only students do internships? Is that what you're saying?
This guy always just finishes the sentence. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
I know. Clarification's really hard for you guys.
Not fishing for gotchas. Definitely not.
I know. Because you guys love tone policing me. Also, it's not a gotcha.
People that pursue, so for people that pursue an internship, these are people that are students or people that are looking to gain experience within their work or within their degree.
So what?
They're trying to get some sort of qualification.
So what?
So when I say that there are unpaid positions that are available, this isn't specifically for them to get paid and to live off of it. It's for them to gain experience.
But ethically,
That's
you
the
think it's
purpose of an
okay.
internship.
So you're saying it's okay to pay this person $0 an hour, or not pay them?
It obviously is when the whole reasoning for the position is for them to gain experience, not for them to make money.
Okay, so paying somebody $0 an hour is okay, but paying someone less than $8 an hour is not okay.
So the difference is you're choosing to straw man me. I'm saying paying someone $0 in an internship position.
Wait,
is okay. Yes, because you're choosing
not a straw
to leave
man.
out the
It's
part.
not incorrect.
You're choosing to leave out the part where I said specifically for internships, when I definitely did tell you that without an internship position, then it's not okay for someone to be paid $0.
You can gain experience
to not
with a job.
Say what I'm saying.
You can gain experience from a job that pays $6 an hour, right? Or no?
Is it specifically called internship?
No, it's just a job that pays less than minimum wage.
Okay, so shut the hell up and listen to what I'm saying.
Shut the hell up. Oh, but I was the one being rude. But I was the one being disrespectful. I was the disrespectful one.
You're choosing to be dumb.
I'm not being dumb.
You're choosing to be dumb.
Oh, now I'm dumb.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm dumb.
You're straw manning me back and forth, and then when I correct you,
and
it's
I'm straw manning you.
You're still choosing to. Yes, you are.
Okay.
And I think everybody in here can clearly understand what I'm saying.
Yes, your butt
Why
boys
is it that when
agree
I
with
talk
you.
about specifically about internships, you're bringing it back to people in general, when I never told you that?
Okay. Yeah, and I'm the rude one. I gotcha. Miss Tone Police.
Exactly, and now you're gonna switch the conversation because you know I caught you, and you're not gonna
You
reply
didn't
back
catch
to what I'm saying.
nothing. You literally make no sense.
Which is so
You literally make no sense. You're no, wait. Let me finish. You literally make no sense. You're saying,
because
I think we
what's
need
the
to
point
pay
of finishing
people
if you're just gonna
above
just
minimum
continue
wage.
arguing?
But if we
there's no
pay
point in
people
saying
$0 an hour, that's perfectly fine. But it's just that doesn't make any sense because you're saying we need to have a minimum wage, but it's okay to pay people $0 an hour.
When I literally
plus $0 an hour plus experience. $0 an hour plus experience.
I don't know if your brain is choosing not to understand me because you probably you lack some sort of cognitive processing. But internship positions, the whole point that it was created was so people that are looking for experience within their degree or some sort of qualification, they can go into that field. They're not specifically going for a job. These people that are going for experience, that's the whole purpose of an internship, to go for experience. These people that are going for that, it's not a recognized job that they can use for the rest of their life. That's not full-time employment for the rest of their life. That's experience. if you are talking about a full-time
All right,
job that
I get your
supposed to
point.
be
I
for the
get your
rest of their
point.
life, then okay.
You're just
So
inconsistent.
then what are
that's all.
you? I've not been inconsistent this whole time.
You're not convincing me. You're
Hello,
just...
wait. Actually, Undertaker, have I been saying the
Oh
same thing
yeah,
the whole time,
ask
or
the
is it?
butt boy. Ask your
have
butt
I-
boy. Yeah, ask your butt boy. Go ahead.
Sorry.
What's up, King
Hello.
Sithis? What's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother?
Not much. Just chilling, man. Just listening to y'all.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, I don't know if you were listening for that whole time, but did you hear me say the same thing multiple times?
Yeah, I don't agree with you. You're wrong.
Okay, that's
You're
one
just
thing.
inconsistent.
This
This is probably why I never get the dates, because every time I go on dates, I talk about ANCAP,
you can
and
choose
they
not
never
to
say,
agree
they
with
never say
me,
yes to me.
but then you could also just choose not to misconstrue what I'm saying.
I'm not misconstruing what you're saying. It's literally... Tell
You
me
literally
what, Tell
are.
me what I'm misconstruing. Go ahead.
Because the fact of the matter is, every time I say internship, you're like recognizing it in your head as just like an old generic job. An internship is specifically for people looking for experience, for some sort of qualification towards their degree.
What did I misconstrue?
You're saying that it's okay. You literally said, "Oh, it's okay for people to not get paid for working a job." That's not what I'm saying. People that are generally working a job for like
wait, is an internship a
like,
job?
The whole reason
is an
of getting
internship a job?
Oh my god. Obviously an internship is a job, but
Okay.
it's not a job that's specifically for being paid and like
Okay, so if you
for having it the rest of your life.
All I said, and I want you to tell me where I misconstrued
An internship
you.
is a
Listen,
short-time
listen.
position.
I want you. This is what I said, and I want you to tell me where I misconstrued you. I said that you think it's okay to not pay somebody, aka an internship, but if you pay them less than the minimum wage, above $0 an hour, you're saying that that's bad. So, what about that did I misconstrue in your words? Go ahead.
So I'm going to say this again so that maybe you can understand it a bit better. For people that are working specifically in internships, it's okay for them to be unpaid, which is $0, or they can be paid. Both of these work for an internship position. An internship position is for people that are choosing to work in a job specifically for them to gain experience. And most likely, these jobs are short term.
You're not telling me where I misconstrued you. You're not telling me where I misconstrued you.
Your whole sentence does not align with what I'm saying.
All right.
Hello?
Okay. All right. Anyways, it was
people
good.
that are working
it was good talking to you,
jobs,
Brittany,
like,
and it was a very fun conversation. But I hope to see you next
hopefully
time.
maybe you can ask ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT where you were like struggling to understand.
Okay.
Your brain could maybe help you understand it. But no,
Okay.
don't add me because you're making me mad.
Okay. Don't add me back then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Maybe I think for you, my advice to you is maybe to read some books on libertarian ethics.
I don't want.
Read some books on. Maybe you should read some books on like libertarian ethics and understand.
I know what a libertarian is. It's
learn a little bit
somebody
more
that
about
wants
the
to
minimum
be-
wage.
It's somebody
And
that wants to be
excuse me.
conservative
Hello,
and
I'm not finished. I'm not
conservative and liberal
finished.
at the same time.
I'm not finished.
Yeah, I don't care. You're about to leave. Hello. I don't care if you're not finished.
I think
Fuck
you need to read a little bit more on libertarian ethics. Maybe try to learn more about the minimum wage.
I don't care.
Maybe
I
you
don't
should
care
probably
about-
learn a
I
little
don't
bit more
care
about
your
drugs.
shit.
You know, maybe you should learn a little bit more about how prostitution works.
I don't give
And
a shit.
yeah.
How about you stop?
Don't-
How about you
all right,
stop
good
being
luck.
a right?
Hey, yo, bro. Good luck to you guys.